Hello and welcome to the NFL Corner Live. We are doing a live show as we react to NFL free agency frenzy, as we're calling it, as we are now in for a treat over the next coming few hours because NFL free agency has started, and I'm joined as always by Will. Hello, Will.
Hello.
It's nice to see you. It is bloody wonderful to see you. And what are your opinions heading into free agency? Because I'm going to let the intro run out because we're live anyway, and we'll be done in 5 seconds or so. Wait for it. There we go. That's what we all came for. That's what we all came for. Hello everyone. We are doing the free agency live stream that we'll be doing today, and I'm just going to leave that over to Will for 2 seconds. You talk through some of your looking forward to deals. You'll see us in the top corner there on the camera. We'd like to welcome everyone to the stream.
So yeah, the legal tampering for the NFL free agency is now officially open. It opened today as of about 12 minutes ago, so teams can now negotiate deals with impending free agents and see if they want to sign for their team. The league year officially starts Wednesday. It will be at the same time, so we'll see if anything else goes through for the league year. But obviously, to do with all the coronavirus stuff, the league year will start on time. That it won't be pushed back any later. So as of right now, in the world of sports, this is all we have to talk about. There's no football. There's nothing really. So the NFL free agency is here to save us, and we cannot wait to see what happens over the next few hours and the coming days to see where these biggest free agents that are on the market, see where they end up. We've already had some pretty big deals today as well. It's already been crazy that the franchise tag deadline closed about 12 minutes ago as well. So as the tag deadline closed, the market opened for the other players, and we've already had tons and tons of news coming in. We've also had some extensions. We've had some trades. So, and it's shaping up to be one of the best for NFL off seasons in a while. Yeah,
well, as you can see on the screen here, I'm just going to have CBS Sports up in the background. We'll quickly talk about some of our deals that we've been a big fan of. I mean, let's talk first about, I think, we'll talk first about your boys. We'll talk about the Cowboys first to get us going. You have decided to franchise tag Dak Prescott, and as of now, Amari's on the market. Is that true?
It is. Dak Prescott has been franchise tagged, which means he cannot negotiate with any other team. So he will be on the Cowboys for at least one more year, and they have until July 15th to negotiate a long-term contract. Now, I don't like this a lot. I know some teams say, well, franchise tag a player, keep him off the market and negotiate a long-term, but we've seen in the past Kirk Cousins got franchise tagged twice in a row, and it ended up in a divorce. I think if you really believe this guy's a franchise quarterback, you need to be signing long-term, and it's taken too long. You shouldn't be leaving it till the last day of free agency to sign your players. And it means, because you can only use one tag now with the new CBA, which we'll talk about in a bit, you can only use one franchise tag. We've used it on Dak Prescott. Amari Cooper's now a free agent. He can now negotiate with any other teams. He's now officially on the market. So we could lose Amari Cooper, which would be a massive loss. Because since we traded for Amari Cooper, he's improved Dak Prescott's play quite a lot. And some people could say Dak Prescott's numbers are, they're due to Amari Cooper coming in and helping him out, because before that it was a tough road for Dak Prescott. He didn't really have any number one wide receivers.
No, it definitely was here, and I've got it up here on JPA, who is mainly the source we use, because sometimes he gets it up quicker than we do, which is an insane thing to believe, but he does. And the Cowboys have placed franchise tag. It's worth $33 million a year, which obviously the franchise tag, if you don't know what it is, it goes off the average
salaries at that position.
Average salary sort of position. And for example, quarterbacks are obviously the highest paid position in the NFL because they're the money makers.
They're the most important as well.
Your phone is going off.
It is.
Like insane amounts.
It's free agency.
It's free agency.
It's the most crazy time of the year.
It is officially kicked off. And that is where all good things start. And I'm excited to see that this is my first ever free agency. Yep. Our first ever free agency on the Sports Corner live, which we hope to do a few more in the future. Obviously, as you can see, scrolling down the bottom of the table there, we have other things, and on the right-hand side, we've got the done deals that we've got. We've got the Titans tagging Derrick Henry.
Makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. I have got JPA up, so we know where to go.
JPA, they're the quickest news source out there.
Which is insane.
Which I don't know how, because I don't know the guy that runs the page. We need to give him a shout out. We need to get him on the show.
Oh,
how he gets these sources.
It's not allowing me to log into JPA. It's not letting me keep it on the screen, so we'll have to go through NFL free agency, its actual position itself, because it's going to tell me to log in, and I'm not giving everyone my login. So we're going to have to stick with either the NFL.com. We've got CBS who are covering it at the moment. I know
Well, we can get JP on the phone anyway, can't we?
Oh, yeah, of course we can. We can get it anywhere we want. But other big news from today, which is, for example, the Bengals have tagged AJ Green. The Steelers have tagged Bud Dupree. I'll tell you what's been very, very often seen today is the franchise tag.
Yeah, well, it was the deadline. Like I said, I think I said it earlier, 16 minutes ago the franchise tag deadline closed, and that meant the tampering window then opened.
You did indeed say that.
No one can tag any more players now. That's why there were a lot coming in at the end, because teams are thinking we need to either tag a player if we want to keep him around, because if we don't tag him now, he can negotiate with other teams.
They can indeed, which is why you've got players such as Dak being tagged, AJ Green being tagged, you've got Chris Jones, you've got Shaquille Barrett, you've got Leonard Williams. I mean,
Anthony Harris as well, which was a bit of a surprising one for me, because I didn't think the Vikings were going to keep him around. But
well, yeah,
Vikings fans.
Actually, that's a more recent one. We'll get it. We'll get it up on the screen now, which is Anthony Harris of my team, the Minnesota Vikings. Here from the NFL.com 2 days ago, it did say that Anthony Harris would like to stay, if possible, with that. But Vikings have placed an $11.44 million franchise tag on Anthony Harris going forward. If we go to the ESPN and we'll look at some of his stats coming into last season, 35 solo tackles, 6 interceptions and 11 passes defended. Do you think he goes under the radar, considering he has... we've also got Harrison Smith, who's a really good safety.
I mean, he's not a household name, really, Anthony Harris. I think this year was a breakout year for him, so you could understand maybe them being reluctant to give him that long-term deal. Maybe they want to see it one more year, but I think he was tied for the leading interceptions in the whole league with 6. So he obviously had a really good season. And I think if you do have another safety called Jaron Kearse.
We do. Do you want me to put him? I'll put him on the screen.
He's also a free agent, but I think now you've tagged him. He was mostly a backup next year, but I think he's good enough to be a starter somewhere else. I think he will now leave.
He'll leave us and go to pastures new would be But while we're on the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins has signed a 2-year extension with the Vikings, worth
66 million.
66 million over the 2 years, so 96 million over 3 years, I think. 96
he
million.
already had 1 year left on his deal, and they've added another 2 years to that.
96 million over the 3 years. Yeah. You've also got other players, for example, the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, should I say, have decided to release Desmond Trufant. Devin McCourty has re-signed with the Patriots at 2 years for $23 million. The Texans have re-signed Bradley Roby, and the Titans have also re-signed Ryan Tannehill. Now, that is one of the biggest deals of the window. Definitely. 4 years at $118 million. I'm not very good at maths, so I can't figure out what that is per...
29.5.
Is it? Over 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it does make sense. It's less than $120 million per year. What do you think on that? Because we were talking the other day on the NFL Corner about, the decision to have Tannehill and Derrick Henry and what they're going to do with both of them. It looks like Derrick Henry's being franchise tagged and Tannehill's being sought out for a long-term deal. Do you think that's fair?
I don't know. I think Derrick Henry's a better player. But I can understand because he's a running back. I don't know what it is in the NFL. Teams are just very reluctant to pay running backs because they have a lower shelf life, according to many people. And quarterbacks are usually around for a long, long time. But I'm happy for Ryan Tannehill because he's finally found a home. And the Titans do obviously trust him as a quarterback. And it wouldn't have made sense to let him walk, really, because for what he did last year, he looked like he fit the system perfectly.
We've got a comment from Mohammed saying, do you guys still think that Liverpool will win the Premier League? Well... It's put a little bit of a spanner in the works, considering the fact that Corona has decided to take over sport, which is not fun. But I think they'll still end up getting it. Be that either they'll give it the title because why not, or they finish the season in December. They finish the season next month, which I doubt is going to happen now. But I think they definitely still.
It's only fair.
Yeah,
we're 25 points clear, and they should give it to us. Really, if we don't get the league this year, we're going to get trolled again constantly by... You know what? I was reading this comment on Twitter. God is a Man United fan. Liverpool, closest time to win the league, could be stopped. Manchester City's best chance to win the Champions League stopped. And Leeds United getting promoted, possibly stopped.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. So. Right. Rowan O'Connell, hello, sir. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. if you are new, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that sort of thing. Rowan says, what do you think happens with the Jags now with all the draft picks they've traded for, really trying to rebuild for the future, with Calais Campbell going and Yannick more than likely off, and Foles go?
I don't think they
and
can
possibly
trade Foles.
let Foles go. I think that's what you were trying to say there. I wonder what they're going to do with Nick Foles.
They're going to try and trade him, but I don't think any team wants to take on that big salary.
No, and no team really needs him. I think there are other quarterbacks out there in this free agency and in this draft, which leaves Nick Foles in a really bad position. Because
it leaves the Jags in a bad position.
It does, yeah. Not
Foles.
Foles. He's going to get paid no matter what he does.
Foles is the big winner here because he's going to get paid, like you say, but for the Jags, they believe in Gardner Minshew, but they've still got to eat that big salary up of Nick Foles. He could be the highest paid backup in the league.
Contract run out?
Oh, he signed a 4-year deal last off-season.
Oh, so you might be stuck with him.
$22 million annually.
Yeah, no, possibly Foles leaving. Yeah, it took me a while. I'm not young. But Calais Campbell, yep, he's gone. He's been traded to the Baltimore Ravens for a 5th-round pick and a kicker, which is bizarre. But as we mentioned, he's old, which could make a little bit more sense. But I will get him up on the screen. I'll get Calais Campbell up because the Jags are having a lot.
They're just rebuilding the roster, aren't they?
They are.
Getting the picks in. And
it does seem to be they're kind of rotating through who they need. Last season, 37 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. A good season.
I like it for the Ravens because they're competing.
Yeah.
And when you compete, you need to get these star players in. I think they re-witched his contract. He's now got a 2-year, $27 million deal. So they have him for a couple of years. And that D-line now is looking a lot better because we saw Derrick Henry run them over. But putting this guy in the defensive line, I think he's about 6'8", Calais Campbell. He's going to stop the run. He's going to rush the passer. You've also got Matt Judon, who they franchise tag, another pass rusher they still have. They've still got Brandon Williams. So they still have, not the Brandon Williams from Man United.
No.
Brandon Williams, the defensive tackle from the Ravens. So that's really solidified their defensive line. And for a 5th-round pick, it's nothing really, is it? Let's be honest.
No. I mean, it seems a steal from the Ravens' point of view that they've come out. I don't think they'll be getting anyone good in the 5th round. Anyway, people usually, if they want to, they can trade away them sort of picks.
Yeah.
So they have traded it away for Calais Campbell in return, which I think it's a good thing. By the way, Rowan, you're giving me things saying turn down Burley 1, it's already down.
We also have some news from Josina Anderson. She's put out 2 pieces of news. She's put that the Dolphins, the Jets, the Raiders and the Eagles have shown interest in free agent cornerback Baron Jones. She's also said that the Cowboys, the Bills, the Jets and the Raiders are the teams showing early interest in impending free agent cornerback Chris Harris Jr. So some early news there.
Yeah, that'll be interesting on them. We will stick with the Jags and we'll go to Yannick Ngakoue. Where is Yannick Ngakoue more than likely?
In effect right now, how difficult will that be for you to adjust your game?
Yeah,
it's already down.
I mean, so certain players will
playing on the background, that's why.
Oh,
while you were there, you got like some tune going on.
Well, we love a bit of background music, but Rowan's giving me advice from not even in here. It's madness, absolute madness. But I love it how he knows where it is because I had no idea. But then we'll go to Yannick Ngakoue, who will get the stats up on the season now.
I can't see him being in Jacksonville next season. Sorry,
No.
Rowan.
No, he's leaving.
He's already asked.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to be there, but they have tagged him. But it looks like they're tagging him to trade him.
Yeah, they're going to trade him. They just wanted to get something for him because if you let him walk into free agency, you're going to get nothing for him. Tag him, you might get a couple of picks for him. But I mean, for his age and how much production he's had, if whatever team trades for him, they're going to have to pay him a boatload of money.
Oh, definitely. And I like they had a good relationship, Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue, because they both played the same position. Am I right?
Both defensive ends. Yeah,
both defensive ends. You know, it was one of them where they kind of took him under his wing and kind of said, you know, come with me. This is how I'll show you how to do your job. And I mean, 36 solo tackles on the season, 8 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and even an interception from the big man. He's not as big as Calais, nowhere near.
He's not. He's a different player to Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's that big dude who's going to solidify the edge. This guy's more of a speed rusher that can beat many offensive tackles just with his pure speed and strength. But I was looking at the Jags 2 years ago. If you look at their defense now, it is just completely different. It's sad to see, really, a competing team that almost made it to the Super Bowl, stopped by Tom Brady, the great Tom Brady, have now overhauled that team completely. Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, Marcel Darius, and their other defensive tackle, Malik Jackson, are now no longer there. So this was only 2 years ago. They've lost AJ Boyer, they've lost Jalen Ramsey, they've lost Tashawn Gibson, they've lost Barry Church.
Yeah, they did. They lost Jalen Ramsey last year. They traded him away for draft picks. I think when it comes to the draft this year, that it'll be interesting to watch teams such as Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Miami, I think, will be a really interesting one. But they've got loads of cap space.
Miami have got loads of cap space and they've got the most picks in the draft. So we said on the NFL Corner that could be the team that has the biggest roster overhaul.
Definitely.
Maybe, and their coach Brian Flores is a really good coach, shown last season.
Oh, definitely. I think they are the big sort of turnaround machine in terms of people leaving and people getting in. I mean, Fitzpatrick is leaving. Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent. I could see him definitely.
Yeah,
leaving.
I mean, not many people have spoke about Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic. I prefer Fitzmagic, but if you want to call him Fitzpatrick, you can do. But I personally am looking forward to seeing where he ends up because I don't really know what's next for Ryan Fitzpatrick because I thought he found a home in Miami.
Yeah.
But they're going to
Well, maybe he stays as backup. We don't know. We don't even know if they're going to get Tua yet, but
they've got that
he's looking like
they have got that heart set on Tua. I mean, I'll be surprised if they didn't go with Tua Tagovailoa, if anyone doesn't know who we're talking about. But I think he is sort of the main teams. The Texans are one of 4 teams interested in a potential trade for Cardinals running back David Johnson. That's literally just being announced now.
The Texans as well. The rumour that we heard earlier that apparently DeAndre Hopkins could get traded, according to Peter King of NBC.
Right, now this amazes
apparently
me.
The Texans are in draft hell. They don't have first-round picks. I believe they don't have one this year or next year. Trading for Laramie Tunsil and trading up for Deshaun Watson. So apparently they could be trading for DeAndre Hopkins, which in my opinion don't make any sense for them because he has been arguably over the last couple of years been the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I was going to say he's up there with the best wide receivers in the league. 104 receptions on the season. He was tied 3rd. 1,165 yards. Not tied 11th. He was 11th. 7 touchdowns. Tied 16th. So he wasn't much of a touchdown merchant in terms of in terms of production, in terms of purely touchdowns. But I think what he offers you is he's arguably the best wide receiver, and him and Deshaun have such a good.
That's it. You're losing the stats, but you're also you're losing the partnership. And if your team looks at the general manager and he's just traded away their number 1 receiver for a couple of picks, you're thinking, are we trying to win?
Yeah,
trading one of your best players, it could hurt the morale.
I don't agree with. Well, to be fair though, if the draft thing is to be believed, now that's insane to me because didn't you say they're without a first, second?
Well, I think they're without a first round pick this year and next year, and then a couple of second round picks. I don't think they have them either. They've done a lot of trades over the last few years. The Texans, obviously, they got Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills last year before the start of the season. Whoops!
Oh, there goes the mic.
My mic fell down. So I probably see them not having a lot of picks just because of all the trades they've done. But this team, if Mahomes went in their way, they could have gone to the AFC Championship game. So it's a team that's close to winning, and with Deshaun Watson, you're going to win games.
But if you lose DeAndre Hopkins...
I don't see the sense in it. I know you need picks, but why is DeAndre Hopkins got to be the casualty to get picks? Trade someone else.
But it depends how high they want the pick. Because do you think DeAndre Hopkins is worth a first or second round pick? I agree. No, I agree completely. Do you think they've replaced him in the draft, though? I think, to be fair, in the draft there is a lot of wide receivers. Very good wide receivers.
Is there a DeAndre Hopkins?
Now, what I want
maybe, you know what, maybe
the top 2, CD Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, but after that I think it's a question mark.
Yeah, I don't think Henry Ruggs isn't the same in terms of the way he plays, so I don't think it'd be him. But we'll move on from the Texans. And what team should we go to next? Shall we go to the Cincinnati Bengals? Because we're on wide receivers. We might as well talk about AJ Green, who, Joe Burrow came out and said, politely, I think
he said it in his interview, didn't he?
It's rumoured that he would only go to the Bengals if they wanted AJ, if they still had AJ Green, who has had his injury problems, from what I know of AJ Green. I mean, did he play any games? Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did play some games last year.
Who's that? AJ Green.
Did he?
I don't think.
No, I've only got his 2018 stats.
I don't think he played many. I don't think he played a game. No, because he had like his underlying toe injury, and it was much worse than expected apparently, according to the Ian Rappaport actually, and I don't think he played throughout the season.
Right, you just keep talking for 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and talk.
We've got some issues.
We have, but you keep talking. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, no worries. We've got another news coming in here that the Rams could trade wide receiver Brandon Cooks this offseason, and it would likely cost a first round pick to get him. That is per Michael Silvers. I'll just come sit round here so I can look at that. Kieran's back anyway now.
Right, we're bringing in.
What's like something going on?
We're bringing in the technical. Look, neither of the Burleys are on.
I don't know why. So you're on this one.
We're having some technical issues at the moment.
We are having some mad technical issues. But I'm trying to mute. Do I have to mute that little screen every time, do you think?
Turn that one off. Let me just...
But, like, just understand, not just all about...
We'll go see.
You know,
I don't know.
I mean, it's not all...
Try it for now.
We love a bit of technical
We
issues.
love technical issues.
We do love...
So it's like the Avengers.
Honestly.
Over, it's great.
What, the crossing over shows. This is the hub of the corner here. But no, back to AJ Green. What was you saying while I was away? Did you say anything while I was away?
I was just saying that there was some news apparently on Brandon Cooks, according to JPA, that Brandon Cooks could be traded this off-season. It will likely cost a first-round pick to get him. That's per NFL Network's Michael Silver. And Brandon Cooks already been traded twice in his career. He played for the Saints, got traded to the Patriots. Then he got traded from the Patriots to the Rams. Signed a big contract with the Rams, and now they're on about trading him again. I don't know why. I think he's a pretty good receiver, but maybe it's the contract number. And teams are very, very... If they've got a contract they don't like on the books, they're going to try and get rid of it no matter what the player is, and they're going to try and rebuild through the draft.
They are definitely, indeed. The biggest name, arguably, in the free agent market is Tom Brady, and I've just got some news through that there are apparently, is it 4 teams interested in Tom
Chargers,
Brady?
Raiders,
3 teams.
Bucks,
3 teams.
And then obviously the Pats.
Chargers, Bucks, and Patriots as well.
The Raiders are apparently like a dark horse team to get him.
Yeah, they are.
Apparently they're going to bid for him.
The 49ers aren't interested because they were also might have been interested in Kirk Cousins. However, Kirk Cousins obviously today has agreed on a 2-year extension with the Minnesota Vikings. Do you think that's good for Minnesota? I'll ask you because I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, so I'm obviously going to say I'll have my opinion. I think it's fair enough. You know, there is questions, as I agree with. For example, I saw Stephen A. Smith say, "Is he a winner? He's only won 1 playoff game in his life." You know, that is a question mark. True. But I think he performed well enough last year. Did get a playoff win last year to take us forward.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee we'll ever get a Kirk Cousins again.
The franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees.
No. Do you think he's a franchise quarterback?
Yeah, of course he is. He proved that this year. He won a playoff game. We had him ranked 7th in our quarterback rankings.
We did.
He's definitely a franchise QB. And I think the number that you've got him at, it's looking like it's around 32, 33 mil a season. Which, if you look into next season's off-season, where some new QBs on new contracts, that is a bargain because you've got Deshaun Watson coming down the line, you've got Mahomes coming down the line, Dak needs a new deal. So to get Kirk Cousins at 32 or 33 million when he was going to hit the market next year anyway, I think that's a really, really good deal.
And if you look at next year, when you look at teams such as, you'll say Deshaun, you'll say...
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, and even before Brady this year, to see how much they're going to get paid to get it in before... anyone raises the market, especially Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is going to blow the market wide open.
He's going to be the most expensive quarterback by a hefty way as well. I mean, you look at the guaranteed money as we talk about sometimes. Carson Wentz. Actually, do you know what? I'll get that up. I'll get.
Jared Goff's currently got the most guaranteed money in the NFL, and then Carson Wentz is second behind him. You could say that both of those two are overpaid, in my opinion, but that's how the market is for the quarterbacks. They're always going to be overpaid. But next season, those contracts for Wentz and Goff will look very cheap. Same with Kirk.
I mean, if you look at it now, we'll go to who is the highest one. It is Jared Goff on guaranteed 107 million. I mean, you look at the Kirk Cousins now. He's on 96. We'll look at Tannehill. He's on 118. Guaranteed, isn't it?
No. 118 over the 4 years, 60 something guaranteed. If Ryan Tannehill got 118 million guaranteed,
I was going to say, because I'm looking at the guaranteed data, I want to know if they've updated it, because here Ryan Tannehill's on 91 guaranteed.
No, well, taking into account his current contract, that might be is that total guaranteed or
that is total guaranteed. Yeah,
so like guaranteed money is basically how much the player will get as like a over the life of the contract as a signing bonus for his contract. So that guaranteed money is the thing you need to look at really.
Yeah,
when a player signs a contract.
Kieran Dillon has put Anthony Harris or Summer. Or
Who?
Summer? Do you mean or Summer? Anthony Harris has signed franchise tag with the Vikings, which I'm very happy about. I'm very happy indeed. We'll have to see what happens with Everson Griffin, because he's our only question mark really left, I think, in the free agency.
Yeah, and
because we
Jaron Kearse and Everson Griffin. Apart from that, you can look at the other teams' free agents that you might want to sign.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't have too much cap space, to be honest with you, mate. But if we look at some of these quarterbacks who are in free agency this year, Tannehill, he's gone.
Market.
He's gone to the Titans. You've got Kirk. He wasn't in free agency, but he has signed an extension, so he's fine. I mean, we look a bit further down. Drew Brees isn't. Alex Smith? He's until 2023. Tom Brady is out in 2020, so he's interested. That's what I put. Anthony Harris or Sommer. I couldn't tell if you said like Jan Sommer. I was wondering if you were talking about Jan Sommer.
What did he put? Anthony Harris what?
Anthony Harris or Sommer. I think he meant Sommer, but I think he put Sommer. But we'll look at Tom Brady anyway. We've talked about where he's likely to go. We've said the Pats, the Bucks, the Raiders, the Chargers. Who knows going into the... He's the one that decides, like, I think, the way this goes.
I think he's going to take his time as well.
Oh, definitely.
And once Tom Brady signs, I think you'll see the market speed up a lot because he's a big name and teams are looking out for... he's going to cost a big chunk of cap room as well.
Yeah, he's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he might only be in the league 2 more years, but he knows how to win. But it's very interesting to see someone like Tom Brady just hit the free agency market and be a free agent. Like, I wonder who would have thought. Who would have thought 2 years ago that you would pass up the chance to sign Tom Brady and sign Ryan Tannehill to an extension instead, like the Titans did? 2 years ago, people would have laughed at you, but it just shows how much quickly it can change.
Exactly. And I mean, other ones, Eli Manning, retired. Pretty much retired. Philip Rivers is no news on retirement. But
he's a free agent. I've seen him being linked to the Colts.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he ends up. I mean, last season wasn't his most flattering year, to be fair to Philip Rivers. So I don't know who's willing to take a risk on him. I don't think he'll be very highly paid either, to be honest, going forward. He's not up there with... No need to worry about stuff like that. Another 2020 is Terry Bridgewater, who... Now, not many people are talking about Teddy Bridgewater, but when he came in last year, he was undefeated.
He was very good.
He was undefeated.
Granted, on a good team, the Saints, but Teddy Bridgewater, I think, out of the quarterbacks, I'm interested to see where he goes the most because I can't see him going back to the Saints because they want to keep Taysom Hill and Drew Brees. The Bucks maybe, but they're going for Tom Brady. The Colts, they don't seem interested in. They seem interested more in Philip Rivers or going down the draft route.
Panthers, but they've got Cam Newton or...
Panthers, no.
No, I don't think so.
I heard the Bucks are going to make a run at him if they don't get Tom Brady, which is very likely because Tom Brady... I've been hearing rumours that Tom Brady, as time goes on, he's looking more and more likely to re-sign with the Patriots.
I'm not feeling the re-signing with the Patriots, I don't think that's where he's going to end up. I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that's not where he's going to end up.
I think if he was going to end up there, they would have already signed that extension. They wouldn't have left it till free agency opens.
Oh, no, definitely not. It says Case Keenum's a free agent. Is that true? I've not even seen his name mentioned.
Who's put that?
It's on here on the contracts. Case Keenum is apparently a free agent in 20... I don't think that's true.
He might have signed an extension we don't know about, but...
I'm not sure about that one.
We also have some breaking news from Jeremy Fowler. Is that Fowler? Yeah, Fowler. I think it's a bit of a typo from JPA, but he's put the Cleveland Browns are working to close a deal on Falcons tight end Austin Hooper that would make him the NFL's highest paid tight end.
Oh, that is mental to me.
He's a very good player.
He's a very good player, but when I thought of like maybe the highest rated tight ends, I was thinking maybe George Kittle.
Maybe, but it's when you hit the market, and free agency teams are just... It's just teams panicking and overpaying for players. That's all it is.
It's deadline day.
It is.
It's very similar to deadline day. We'll move on as we'll ignore the Case Keenum one because I'm not quite sure. Jameis Winston. No. The best quarterback in this field in terms of quality.
Interceptions.
In terms of... No, but seriously, where is Jameis Winston going to end up? Because I don't know.
I don't know. I really do not know.
Honest to God, does he start where he goes? I don't know.
I mean, it's tough for Jameis Winston because we've seen him through 33 touchdowns and be the leading passer in the league, but he's also thrown 30 interceptions, so it's kind of like, I don't really know what's up with Jameis because you can see the talent's there, and it's like, does any team want to take a punt on him? Maybe he needs to change of scenery from the Buccaneers. Maybe.
Yeah, but... I don't know, Bruce Arians, if there's a coach that'll keep him around, it's probably Bruce Arians.
He's the QB whisperer, isn't he? QB guru.
Yeah.
And he's also got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
And he likes Jameis.
He does. But if you can get Tom Brady, you can't pass up on that.
Yeah, now that throws the spanner in the works. Maybe Tom Brady for a year, mate, I don't know.
I think Tom Brady's probably in the league 2 more years, max.
Do you think?
Yeah, 2 more years.
Could be.
Whoever signs him will sign him to a 2-year deal, and I think he's either going to compete, or might be like the bridge QB. But I think the most intriguing one for me is, although it's the dark horse team, is Tom Brady going to the Raiders, because then what do the Raiders do with Derek Carr? And also moving to Las Vegas, you have Tom Brady as a quarterback. That is PR.
Derek Carr's not out of contract
Magic.
until 2023.
No, but there has been rumours for a few years that the Raiders might try and trade him away. I mean, every single combine, there's rumours Derek Carr's been shopped around at the combine. Does anyone want Derek Carr? Does anybody want him?
Going around like a stall. Anyone here for any Derek Carrs? Any Derek Carrs? No, but that is Derek Carr. It's not Derek Carr. You've made me talk about it now. Marcus Mariota. Is he out of contract?
He is. He's a free agent.
Wow. Now, another one.
I can't see him going back to the Titans.
No, that's another one for me that hasn't been mentioned at all.
No.
In terms of free agency. I haven't seen anything to say where he's going to go. I might even try and get up anything about Marcus Mariota at all.
I saw rumours that the Patriots might be interested in him. And if Marcus Mariota goes with Bill Belichick, that could be something, you know. He's underperformed since he was the second overall draft pick, but another player that a change of scenery could really, really help him. I don't think he wants to be a backup in Tennessee.
Well, I'm trying to find the latest news and the draft speculation on Marcus Mariota. Oh, that's the 2015 NFL draft.
That's when he was playing for Oregon.
That was when he was playing for Oregon. We'll go to this one from the 28th of February. I don't think he's in
2
the
minutes
draft.
ago, the Falcons free agent tight end Austin Hooper, the top player at his position, is headed to the Browns officially, per Tom Pelissero and Mike Silver and me.
And me.
They've agreed to terms, and he's now the highest paid tight end in the league. So some breaking news there.
That's insane. Is he going to the Browns?
Going to the Browns, yeah.
That's another offensive. If there's anything, I didn't think they needed more offensive weapons.
That now leaves the door open. Where does David Njoku go, their starting tight end? I think he ends up getting traded somewhere, because there's no way you have Austin Hooper and David Njoku.
What round do you think? I think third?
David Njoku, third or second?
Third, yeah.
Maybe a third.
But as we'll look here on Fansided, you're welcome. You're getting some.
Put it on the breaking. Austin Hooper to the Browns.
I will do that. I will.
I'll have a look. Do you want me to have a look for Twitter? Or something like that.
I can't, because I have to go and change it on this screen.
Oh, cool.
So if you,
it's all right.
do you know what you can tell you what, you can tweet out off my account in a minute about the stream, and we'll try to get it tweeted on my account. But I will change that breaking news to. Let me just give you my phone.
Austin Hooper.
If you just add all the hashtags, but I will change that. There, let me. Can I edit it? This is now behind the scenes of me trying to edit text, which will be interesting to see.
All the hashtags.
I've just moved it. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, right. We'll go back and we'll start that later when Josh comes back, because I am rubbish at this. I am absolutely rubbish. He's looking at the stream. I can see him in the other room. He knows I've absolutely bottled it. He knows I've absolutely bottled it. But we'll get you tweeted out.
I just want Austin Hooper on the breaking news.
I'm trying to put him on the breaking news, but I don't know how to edit text. Hello, Josh. Hello, General Manager of Sports Corner Industries. Will you?
Go on then.
Go on.
I'll sort that out for you. Double tap it.
Oh, was that it? Right,
That was it. Double tap.
Simple. Fixed.
Easy, sword. There you go.
Thank you very much, Josh.
So
You won't have to see me again now. There you go.
Oh,
I'm off. Boom.
see you later.
Austin Hooper.
Is a Cleveland Brown. This is all behind the scenes stuff, you lucky devils. Honestly. I can't type either, so this is fun.
Becomes the highest paid tight end in the league, which is just crazy.
I mean... Oh, look at this. Oh, mental. Absolutely.
You can do it, Kieran.
I'm doing it. Can I ring me mum? She'll be proud of me. There we go. I'm back to the stream. Louis Champagnon. Tannehill, bad move in my opinion. Risky to give 4-year, 60 million odd guaranteed to a quarterback who has been inconsistent most of his career. Although maybe it's more Dolphins being bad than Tannehill himself.
That's my mate Louis. He's a big Lions fan.
Oh, well. You're crap. No. Do you think it's a bad move? It's a bold move considering he has only had one. He has one outstanding year. In terms of, was it even him being outstanding, or was it more Derrick Henry being outstanding? It's a good question.
I think he personifies the system quarterback. He just fit the system, didn't he, really? But $29.5 million, that's a rich contract that to give to a quarterback. I mean, we could see it backfire. We saw Nick Foles' contract backfire this season after having one good run with the Eagles, so we'll have to see how that one goes. But the Titans obviously trust him, and they obviously wanted to keep him around.
I mean, it's a fair enough off the back of last season, but sometimes you've got to say...
It's a risk.
It is a risk.
Definitely a risk.
And as you say, 60 million guaranteed. I get the point. I do understand the point, but as you say, come next season, they might have had to pay a bit more for him if they'd have had this season next year, considering the free agent's about to hit the market. So maybe they're thinking, get him now for this money before the free agency, before the QB market resets itself.
Yeah.
That's also something you've got to think about. We'll move though we'll talk about Marcus Mariota. Patriots is one of the fits.
Well, if Brady leaves, they need a new star.
Philadelphia Eagles. Well, Carson Wentz is always injured. Jacksonville Jaguars because of Foles, Minshew.
That won't make that's a bad fit in my opinion, because you don't need 3 QBs. You don't need Foles, Minshew, and
I agree.
Mariota.
Chicago Bears. Mitch Trubisky has never been...
Look, any quarterback at this point is a fit for the Bears, because I just don't trust Mitchell Trubisky to be it. I just don't think you can win with him. We've seen enough of Mitchell Trubisky in the league now. I don't hate Mitchell Trubisky. People might think I hate Mitchell Trubisky because I obviously say a lot of bad things about him, but...
You do. You were telling me just a minute
ago.
I do,
but the Browns spent a lot of money. They got Allen Robinson in a few years ago. They got another Titan from the Eagles. They spent a lot of money on their offense. They've put weapons around him. They gave him the best. They gave him Khalil Mack on defense to turn the ball over for him, and they finished 8-8. It's not good enough. And
no, I do, and I think again alongside the Browns, they've got enough weapons to be better than they are, but they just haven't, and they were never even challenging really.
It's a shame because not the season just finished, but the season before that, they actually made the playoffs, but lost in the first round to Nick Foles and the Eagles at home. So that was a shocking result for the Browns. Not for the Browns, the Bears.
The last fit for Marcus Mariota is the LA Chargers. Possibly
if they don't get Brady.
Yeah, yeah, but then again, do you think maybe the Chargers go forward? They've had Phillip Rivers. Brady will just be very similar to Phillip Rivers. Maybe get someone that it's a little bit different, a little bit younger.
Yeah,
because I think
he's definitely more of a mobile quarterback. Mariota.
And he's got something to prove.
Yeah, chip on his shoulder, might go there, might want to make it his franchise. But I think whatever happens, I think the Chargers draft a QB this year. Whether it's Justin Herbert, whether it's Jordan Love, whether it's Jalen Hurts, I think they come out of the draft with a quarterback
for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Because Marcus Mariota, if you're signing Marcus Mariota, he's probably going to come as more of a question mark. Will he start? Will he be a bench player? He's just kind of there to fill up the roster. But I think long term, the Chargers will be looking to draft a QB.
We'll move on to the Chargers itself with Melvin Gordon, who's also a free agent, the running back. Some fits for him. Arizona Cardinals, what do you think of that? I think it's another weapon for Kyler Murray.
It is, but they've just given Kenyon Drake the transition tag, so they're keeping him around. They're trying to trade David Johnson, and until they trade David Johnson, they're not going to sign Melvin Gordon to a big contract.
No, I don't think so. Let's move on to the next team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Maybe. They have Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones, 2 average running backs. Could be a good signing for them, but Tampa Bay, their need is at QB at the moment, I think.
Number 3, the Chicago Bears. There seems to be a pattern with the Chicago Bears coming up. We'll go with number 2, Miami Dolphins.
I think that's the best fit for him. Just because they've got the money to pay him, and they need a running back to put behind. Maybe when they draft Tua and
Melvin Gordon
could be a nice
I actually kind of
punch.
like the partnership. I do like the partnership, and I like the Dolphins heading into... And first, Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they've just cut Devontae Freeman. They need a new running back. Maybe they make it happen. They've just lost Austin Hooper, so they'll have some money to spend. We'll
start looking at running backs in general in terms of who's a free agent this year. There's not that many, I don't think, from what I can see here. Lamar Miller from the Texans is a free agent. Not really sure there's much hype about him going anywhere. You've got Chris Thompson from the Redskins.
A couple of years ago was a decent running back, but his injuries have seemed to slow down his career.
Yeah, you've got Melvin Gordon, he's one of them. Carlos Hyde from the Texans have got 2 running backs on the market.
I think Carlos Hyde's a free agent this year, or they might look to cut him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he is a free agent. You've got LaShawn McCoy from the Chiefs.
Getting a bit old.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to match the way they want to do going forward. Who else? We've got Peyton Barber, he's a free agent. Frank Gore from the Bills is a free agent. Theo Riddick from the Broncos is a free agent. And that's it, really. Brandon Bolden.
Who even is that?
Exactly. We're the Patriots. But I think Will, your thoughts on what the Cowboys have done so far from Rowan?
Well, it's only just opened up. I think they've made a mess of it so far, if I'm being honest with you, and it's nothing new to me. We can't seem to sign players to long-term contracts before the deadline opens. We saw DeMarcus Lawrence a few years ago. We had to tag him. He played on the franchise tag. We then had to tag him again because we still couldn't work out a long-term deal. We finally got the long-term deal sorted out. Obviously, we've signed Jalen Smith to a long-term deal, which we got done in the off-season, which was a good deal. But Dak Prescott's meant to be franchise quarterback, and you're tagging him 10 minutes before the deadline. It's not good enough, I don't think. And letting a player like Amari Cooper hit the free agency market, he can, as we're speaking right now, he can negotiate with other teams to sign for him, for them to sign him. Also, Byron Jones is going to walk, which is understandable because he wants a big contract and we can't afford to pay everybody. Robert Quinn, he had 11.5 sacks for us last season. He's a free agent. Randall Cobb, our number 3 receiver, is a free agent. So we need to start re-signing or signing some players quickly, because if you let Amari Cooper walk, you've just lost your main offensive weapon. And we've seen Dak Prescott without a bona fide number 1 wide receiver, he struggles. Michael Gallup could maybe step up, but we don't know.
I was going to say, I like Michael Gallup. Who's got Randall Cobb?
Well, Cowboys had him, but he's now a free agent as well.
He's now a free agent as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I know Randall Cobb's there maybe in part of it, but I like Michael Gallup. I think he could make the step up, but I do think you need Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it don't make any sense to let him walk. He likes being a Dallas Cowboy, and since we traded for him, he's been an absolute steal. Just for a first-round pick from the Raiders. I bet the Raiders wish they had him right now. Well, yeah, you need to be re-signing your big players like this. You've seen other teams do it in the off-season and get the deals done, and that's why they're competing for championships now. But Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they just never seem to learn. They need to get these deals done quicker. Whether it's the players asking for a lot of money, I don't know. But look, the longer you wait, the prices just go up.
Well, everything to me points to Amari coming back to Dallas, because if you think they wouldn't have, I don't think they would have franchised Dak if they weren't signing Amari Cooper.
No, well, that was the question. Do we tag Dak or Cooper? But Dak was always going to be the priority because he's the quarterback. But you could have got the deal for Amari Cooper done 3 months ago. You could have got it done before the season. You know, you've had chances to sign him for a long time, and you've even we got knocked out. We didn't even make the playoffs. Our season ended late December, so that was 3 months ago. Those 3 months you could have signed Dak and Amari to long-term deals, but we'll have to see what happens with Amari Cooper. But right now, I'm concerned as a Cowboys fan because we could lose Amari Cooper, and that could be a massive loss. I
think that is a worry, because your offense last year was, from my opinion, actually a really good offense.
It was number 1 ranked passing offense in the league.
Exactly, but I think you take one of a key factor in that was Amari Cooper, and as we saw earlier when it was a Dak Prescott highlight reel, someone just asterisked it and said it's actually an Amari Cooper highlight reel, because he's your number 1 wide receiver.
He is. And Purdy and Rappaport talking about Amari Cooper, he put the Cowboys didn't have a deal in time for him before the tampering window opened, but those talks obviously continuing, and they're looking to bring him back. That is Purdy and Rappaport. So they are still talking with Amari Cooper's representatives, trying to bring him back, and I think Amari Cooper himself will be interested in returning to the Cowboys. But yeah, it's not looking too great.
It's not looking great.
No.
I've got here that is it Emmanuel Sanders is a free agent?
He is.
Is that true? Wow. Now he's an interesting one because obviously he made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Mid-season trade from the Broncos.
Yeah, he's out of contract, but he is 33, so he's getting on the older side of. I mean, you look at a wide receiver; they can't go for as long as a quarterback, because when you get to like 33, you lose an edge of speed.
Yeah.
And I mean, where do you think he ends up? Do you think he just goes back to San Francisco?
I think he does. Competing
I
team.
agree.
He worked in their system, and maybe because of his age, you could get him on a cheap 1 year deal, maybe 2 year deal. But I think the one that makes the most sense for him is definitely 49ers. Definitely 49ers.
Louis is back with another point. He says, typical Cowboys, they mess up free agency despite solid drafts and player development. I wouldn't put it past Jerry to lose Amari and replace him with AB, a.k.a. the new T.O. Please tell me that AB does not stand for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Oh, right. So apparently you're replacing it, according to Louis, you'll be replacing him with Antonio Brown, which is arguably the worst.
No.
The worst swap I've ever
Look,
seen.
if Jerry Jones signed Antonio Brown, he'd be like, this can really work well for the Cowboys. Trying to convince all the fans that it would work, even though we know it wouldn't because he's the team obliterator.
Yeah.
It's Antonio Brown. I don't want him anywhere near the franchise. If we did lose Amari Cooper,
Super duper Amari Cooper.
We'd have to look. We'd have to look into the draft at CeeDee Lamb. Maybe trading up for CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. You'd have to look at Emmanuel Sanders. You'd have to look at Robbie Anderson.
Maybe,
the best option is just re-sign Amari Cooper.
That is the best option. But there are wide receivers, luckily for you.
And I do agree with Louis there. They always mess up for agency, but when it comes to drafting, they are very, very good and they develop players brilliantly. But when it's time to pay them, they're like they don't know what to do, and they let them walk, and you lose the talent.
Well, there comes your problem, I think.
Yeah.
It's all right generating the talent, but their contracts come to an end. You can only pay them minimal money for so long before they get to the point where
you've got to pay these guys if you want to win. You've got to be ambitious. You've got to pay them the money that they deserve.
I mean, look at, for example, the Miami Dolphins have the most cap space, but they picked up 5 wins in a season.
Exactly.
There's a reason.
There's a reason for that.
They've got so much cap space, and as we've mentioned, they're an interesting team going forward in this draft. It is officially 4 minutes to 5, which we said was when we thought it.
I thought, because Eastern time, but we were actually an hour behind. So it has started now.
Is that daylight savings time, do you think?
Maybe.
But we'll
teams are negotiating as we talk here.
That's the thing. It all depends on how quick the teams do negotiate. Is there any other ones you want to mention for the rest of for some players? We'll look at the tight ends maybe that are available. There isn't many tight ends available.
There never usually is.
Well, as we've seen that the Bears have got Austin Hooper. Was that because he was a free agent or have they traded?
No, he was a free agent. He was the best free agent tight end on the market by a mile, and the Browns have moved quickly to get in. They must have been talking to him quite early on in the process. But it's a good signing for the Browns. I know he's the highest paid tight end, but he's still quite youngish, and then they need to surround Baker Mayfield with offensive weapons. But now, if you look at Baker Mayfield with the players he's got around him, there can't be any excuse really. You've got Odell, you've got Jarvis Landry, you've got Austin Hooper. There's weapons there for him to throw to. He just needs to gel with them. And
that's the thing. I think moving forward,
put the ego out the window.
Browns, I've talked about some of the players they've got: OBJ, Austin Hooper, Baker Mayfield, because they love a bit of Baker Mayfield.
They do.
But they now need to get results. For me, anyway, personally.
They start winning, don't they?
Oh, definitely.
It's just they've got all the talent on paper, but they can't seem to turn it into wins.
I'm going to let you take the centre seat. I've got something to go do for 2 seconds.
Yep. I'll move over to the centre seat.
I'll let you take the centre seat. I'll have a chat. You have a chat with the chat, and hopefully everyone can talk.
Mike, this side, right. So let's have a look at the top 101 current free agents that the NFL have listed as their top free agents. Any more comments coming in? Rowan, what do you think of the Jags so far? I want to hear what you've got to think, Rowan. So yeah, NFL free agency is going to start moving a lot quickly now with teams in the tampering stage where they can start signing players. And we will see what happens. Top 100 players. They have Dak Prescott ranked as number 1. He's already off the market with the franchise tag. Chris Jones is being franchise tagged. Drew Brees still on the market, but it's looking like he's going to go to the Saints. Tom Brady looking like it's going to be a bidding war with the Patriots, the Chargers, the Buccaneers, and the Raiders. Jadeveon Clowney, he's probably the biggest question mark in my opinion. I don't know where he ends up. The Giants were interested in him quite heavily, so we'll have to see what happens with him. Byron Jones, cornerback Cowboys, looking like he's going to be leaving now, but the Eagles and the Giants are two teams that are very interested in him. Eric Armstead had a breakout season with the 49ers. Probably looking like a return to the 49ers. Shaquille Barrett's been franchise tagged. Justin Simmons been franchise tagged. Amari Cooper, we wait on news for him. Will he be a Dallas Cowboy next season? Will he be a Philadelphia Eagle possibly a Buffalo Bill? We just don't know at this point. Ngakoue's been franchise tagged. Everson Griffin, he's another player that is available on the market, a good pass rusher that competing teams might be interested in. Phillip Rivers linked to the Colts. Could be a bridge quarterback for the rookie that they could draft this year in Justin Herbert or Jordan Love. Anthony Harris has been franchise tagged by the Vikings, as we mentioned earlier. Matt Judon has been franchise tagged by the Ravens. Good edge rusher for them, and with Calais Campbell being traded there, it's another good piece on their defense to keep hold of. Kyle Van Noy of the Patriots, kind of an under the radar free agent, you could say. Done well under the Patriots scheme. I know Louis, the big Lions fan. Carl Van Noy is obviously a Lions legend. Joe Tooney tagged by the Patriots. Their guard, which is a bit of a shock in my opinion. Rowan support. Well, you're letting go of your 2 best players, but at least we're getting draft picks, so we can at least replace them. I think for us it comes down to the draft. Really, yeah, I agree with that, Rowan. I think a rebuild is needed. You're not winning with your current roster, so you need to try and get those draft picks in to rebuild. I'm just going through the top 100 free agents available, and there's already a few off the board that have been tagged or whatnot. Chris Harris Jr. is an interesting one because he's probably behind Baron Jones, the best cornerback on the market.
Who's at number 1?
Number 1 is Dak Prescott, but he's been tagged already by the Cowboys.
Everson Griffin hasn't been taken yet, so he's hitting the free agent market.
Would you like Everson Griffin back with the Vikings?
I would, I think. I like Everson Griffin, I do, but we have got Anthony Harris now. Let's have a look at Everson Griffin.
Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle from the Steelers, could be an underrated pickup for someone because he's been a good run stuffer now for quite a while. I don't think he'll demand too much money. Same with Jordan Phillips, had a breakout season. Jack Conklin, offensive tackle for the Titans. We've talked about the Titans getting, re-signing Tannehill and getting Henry back. Jack Conklin could be a loss on the offensive line, which could be a big loss for them. Brian Bulaga has been a good offensive tackle in the league for a while now for the Packers. I think he just stays with the Packers. Corey Littleton, linebacker, currently plays for the Rams, been linked with the Raiders a lot. We'll have to see where he goes. And James Bradbury, finally, number 37. We'll come back to this list later on in the stream, but James Bradbury...
we can keep on it if you want.
Keep going for it through all 100. We're only on number 37.
Start with number 1.
We're on number 37.
We'll give an in-depth look at every single player.
Every single player?
No. We won't do that.
What team do you want to talk about, Kieran? What team are you intrigued about in the free agency market?
When it comes to free agency, my thing is Miami because of all the players. Not because they've got any, but because of all the players they could possibly get. Because they've got so much cap room. I mean, one team we're not talking about too much with a lot of cap room is the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. They're not really. They've never been massive spenders in free agency. They're really the Colts.
Yeah, but
they've always got the talent, and it's like you say, they've got so much money.
They've got
so much talent in.
It's one of them. Maybe there's who's stingy in the Premier League? Who's stingy?
Arsenal.
There we go.
They don't really buy the big players, do they?
No, they're Arsenal. You know.
They make the most revenue out of the Premier League clubs. They do Arsenal. And don't spend it, do they?
Exactly. So the Colts, how much money have they got? 80 million, was it?
I think it's about 65 now because they re-signed their left tackle Costanzo.
Oh yeah, Anthony Costanzo,
which was a good pickup, good re-sign for them because it solidifies that left tackle spot. Some news on Amari Cooper here. Jane Slater, Dallas Cowboys reporter, she's put, Dallas remains optimistic about the possibility of re-signing Amari Cooper to a long-term deal following Dak Prescott's exclusive franchise tag this morning. So the Cowboys are continuing to talk. What's this here? We've got someone in the...
Birdman, Eagles, Lil Chat.
Oh, we've got an Eagles fan in the chat.
Oh,
Eric Flowers to Miami. Well, it's a need there, but Eric Flowers is a bit... since he got drafted, he's been a bit of a garbage offensive lineman, just to put it lightly.
So where do you think he ends up? Do you think anyone wants him?
He's got him going to Miami. I think he could end up...
I mean, they might as well...
I think the Redskins might just...
They might just toss the money around.
Yeah, why not?
Offensive lineman, Redskins take him, and then they don't take an edge rusher and Chase Young.
Yeah.
We don't get Chase Young. They take Tua, apparently, according to some reports. I don't know why. I think that
3 years, 30 mil. Oh, is it a guarantee? Is this a signing?
Is this?
Wow! Don't tell me Eric Flowers has got 10 million. No way. He has. So thanks for that, Birdman Eagles, Super Bowl 52 champs. The Dolphins have agreed to terms with Eric Flowers, 30 million over 3 years with 19.95 million guaranteed.
Can
the Dolphins have signed someone.
Can he be our new source of information? So what we're going to do is we're going to give it to Eagle to go and get all our details.
Yeah, that's according to Adam Schefter, according to this Birdman Eagles.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
If you've got any more news, Birdman Eagles, feel free to put it in the chat.
Feel free and share, do all that. Subscribe if you want to, because we do this every single Thursday. We're on a Monday, which is not what it usually is. But as we say, Corona is et sport.
This is the only thing that's available for us.
This is literally the only thing that we can do.
Everything else has been postponed, really.
Pretty much.
Robbie Anderson, wide receiver, Jets. Where do you think he ends up? Probably the second best wide receiver on the market behind Amari Cooper.
I'm trying to think out there who needs a wide receiver and who is up to the level. Like San Francisco might want to replace Emmanuel Sanders, but I don't think he's good enough for
Possibly.
that. I don't think so. Who do you think? Well, I'm interested. I don't know enough.
Robbie Anderson. I think he might just return to the Jets.
Everyone goes to Jets. We already know this. I mean, my free agency had everyone going.
They love to spend money in free agency.
Couple more comments from Birdman. I can't see from here.
He's put hearing Teddy to Chicago, not official though.
The Bears?
He's put subbed. We've got a new subscriber.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, the Bears apparently are interested in Teddy Bridgewater. It's not official yet though.
Well,
it's just a rumour.
If you think about it, that would get rid of. Is it Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky, like I said. Mitch
Well,
Trubisky,
we said Marcus Mariota might go there, so Teddy Bridgewater.
Any quarterback at this point can challenge Mitch Trubisky for that starting QB.
That's
spot.
the thing. If you're challenging, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I think if the Buccaneers don't get Tom Brady and they stick with Jameis will challenge whoever comes in.
Definitely.
Be it Marcus or whoever else.
Rowan's put big up Birdman.
Big up Birdman indeed. Eagles fan. I mean, I don't mind you, personally. The Dallas Cowboy fan sat in this hot seat might not mind you.
It's what it is, but Dak Prescott's better than Carson Wentz.
Is that what he's put?
No.
Oh, no. You had me then, to be fair.
They're just facts.
I thought he'd put it in. He has put something else, though, which I can't quite see from here.
He's put either Jets or Raiders. I don't know what he's referring to there.
Oh,
Maybe
he'll be referring
to
to Austin. Not Austin. The wide receiver we were just talking about.
Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson, yeah. I'll be honest, a lot of these players might return to the teams they were always on, which, for example, Robbie Anderson would go to the Jets. So I can see that.
I am shocked, though, for that Eric Flowers contract, because a few years ago he was literally a meme, how bad he was as an offensive lineman, but he's obviously rejuvenated his career with the Redskins, and he's been given. He's going to earn $10 million annually with the Dolphins.
But to be fair, with the Dolphins, they didn't have a good offensive line.
No.
So do you know what? Add him for not that much money. Because is it 10 million?
10 million for 3 years.
So that hits 10 million of the cap year, or does that hit 30?
It'll be 10 million this year.
So
and then
out of the cap room,
it'll probably be 10 million each year on the cap.
All right, so
Eric Flowers.
They've still got 90 million, 100 million to work with.
They've still got tons, and they can easily make cap room by
a lot of comments
players.
There from.
Wentz is better than Prescott, but both QBs top 12 QBs.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got big news. Big news. David Johnson has been traded to the Houston Texans from the Arizona Cardinals.
Is that true?
Let's see if JPF confirmed it, because if JPF said it,
if
usually
JPF said it, then I tell you what, this Birdman is on top form today. Thank you very much.
Nothing on it yet.
But by the way, Birdman, after we're done with this live stream, feel free to go and check out the top 32 quarterback rankings that we did just this past week.
Yeah, we've also done a mock draft as well.
We've done a mock draft. We did free agency a couple of weeks back before all this.
Yep, Adam Schefter just reporting that now, that the Cardinals and Texans are agreeing to a trade that will send David Johnson to Houston.
What for?
We do not know.
I'm interested to see what for.
I just think it could be for a couple of picks. He's another player that's on a pretty big contract, and he's getting up there in age, but that is a big ad for the Sean Watson and his offense, because he's a very good running back.
The Texans are getting him. They can't trade picks.
The Texans are getting him from the Cardinals.
Yeah, but if you said
they must, they don't have any picks.
They don't have any picks. So are they going to trade for picks?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
What should be like a 4th round pick or something like that? What should be something like that?
I mean, Calais Campbell went a 5th round pick and a kicker, so
yeah,
anything's possible.
I mean, Kieran, what do you think about Linval Joseph? Your Vikings cut him to release cap room. Could you see the Vikings re-sign him to a cheaper deal, or do you think he ends up somewhere else?
I think he ends up somewhere else now. I think with Linval, he's a bit older. I think he's in his 30s now, which I think I just see him end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
I just
got some cap room for him, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We freed up. Now got about 18, maybe 16, depending on what Kirk's affects the cap room, which I hope he doesn't affect the cap room, but it probably will. I mean, we've also got to deal with Everson Griffin. The more this goes on, the less likely we are to re-sign him, because I feel teams...
Yeah, he's still available on the market.
Yeah, teams are probably negotiating for him now. So I think we just let them go and maybe start rebuilding the It is an old defence, to be fair.
It is. But you've still got obviously the likes of Eric Kendricks. You've still got Harrison Smith. Cornerback might be a bit of a question for you now, because obviously you've got Xavier Rhodes has been released. Trey Waynes is a free agent who could be re-signed to a cheaper deal maybe.
Yeah, I think we do need to rebuild at corner, but I think we maybe go there first in the draft, or maybe 2nd round. I think we could probably get a decent corner. Maybe go for an offensive line.
I think offensive lineman could be a 1st round pick, but the 2nd round you could get someone like Trevon Diggs maybe.
I want Trevon Diggs so bad.
From Clemson.
I want Trevon Diggs so bad.
If you got Trevon Diggs in the draft, it could maybe keep Stephon around for a bit longer. Do you think those trade rumours would die down a bit?
Yeah, I don't. With Stephon, you're never sure. He's a bit like, not the boy who cried wolf, but you know, You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You know what you get? You get someone who always teases a move. In wrestling, we call it like working someone. Like you make the fans think one thing and then you do the complete opposite.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a look on NFL.
I'm guessing a 6th round pick, and I want the Eagles to go after Griffin. I mean, it'd be a good signing for anyone, to be fair.
He would
with
be,
Everson Griffin.
Yeah.
I think he is. What? Last year, our defense got us where it got us. You know, I think we had offense that was good, but the defense really stood up when it needed to. And then the offense would come up and stink up the joint. If we're talking about that game against San Francisco, that was poor. But
It was.
What can you do? I think it'd be a great addition to the Eagles. How much cap space do the Eagles have?
I think they have about 45 million, around 45 million.
That's not
cap
too
room,
bad,
and they
really.
don't have any big impending free agents. I'm interested to see what Birdman and Eagle thinks about you maybe getting Baron Jones from the Dallas Cowboys cornerback. What would you think about signing him? Maybe I've seen a lot of Eagles fans would not be happy signing Baron Jones.
Is that just because it's coming from you?
No, apparently they don't like how he doesn't turn the ball over a lot, which I can understand. It is frustrating because I think he got one or two interceptions in his Cowboys career, which is not very good. But in terms of a cover lockdown corner, he's a very good corner. But I understand people worried because he doesn't turn the ball over a lot.
I mean, going back to that where he says he's guessing a 6th round pick for David Johnson, really?
It could be possibly because, like I say, he's on that big contract and he's getting up there in age. He was injured last season, I think, so the trade value will not be very high for David Johnson. But it was a need for the Texans.
What position's David Johnson?
Running back.
Running back. Okay.
So you've got David Johnson now. You've got Deshaun Watson in that offense.
You've still got DeAndre
You've still got
Hopkins
him.
for now.
Yeah.
But
We'll see all that.
I mean, if they're in draft hell, I wouldn't. My advice would not be to trade away
More
picks. But maybe they just don't want to take part in this draft at all. They just trade away every single pick. But they'll move on to next year. There's another comment there from...
He's put good player but costs way too much.
How much was...
Baron Jones.
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner. Para sa nanuot naman siya ng inodoro, inaalis ang dumi at patay ang 99.9% of germs. Pati ang namuong lime scale, isang mineral na galing sa tubig na di kayang tanggalin ng bleach. Clean less, live more.
S.C. Johnson.
Good player but costs way too... Yeah.
I mean,
I
selfishly,
agree.
for me, I would say
I think
yes.
I don't think he deserves to be the highest paid
Patriots would
corner in
have
the
the
league.
first crack at the
Not in
conversation
my
to
opinion.
see,
But then again, I don't think
how
Xavier
they
Rhodes
would go,
deserved a
what
Pro
would go
Bowl.
on
But hey
there.
ho, here we
But
are.
I think you've heard Tom, you've heard other people
No,
talk
that's just
about it.
that's not
that there's
us.
opportunities
Oh,
out
right.
there.
That's
There's
just,
possibilities.
Don't worry
at
about that.
other
That's just a
places.
screen so we can see the
This
comments.
is the first time. This is uncharted
If it's been
waters.
paused, then we would have been in a
Has
lot
not been a
of
free
trouble.
agent.
We had no idea what we were looking at.
Yeah.
But it's something.
But who do you think is the
that
best corner
you
in
got
the
to
league?
deal
Is
with.
Richard
It's the
Sherman a
business
safety
side
or a
of it.
corner?
So
He's a cornerback.
I would
Well,
say there's
well,
a
maybe
lot of
Richard Sherman's the best.
possibilities out there on the table.
I think Stephen Gilmore
but I
by a
would,
long
you know,
shot.
Oh,
Player of the year.
good
in my
point. Good
own
point.
opinion,
Fair.
just
But I do think
hypothetically
Richard Sherman's
speaking,
very good.
Those
He
conversations
rejuvenated his
will start
career
in
a
New
lot.
England first.
Yeah.
With the 49ers making that Super Bowl run, obviously.
Yeah, well,
Tore
I
his
think
Achilles.
that
That's when the
makes
Seahawks let him
sense
go.
for the
But
Patriots. I don't
fair
see a
enough,
succession plan there.
He's still got a pretty big contract
right now with Jared Stidham
I
and
think
Cody Kessler
Richard
on the
Sherman's a
roster.
free agent next
I
year.
don't see a succession
and
plan
he'll
from
be
the
33,
Patriots
so it'll
side,
be
but
interesting
from
to see what type of
Brady's
deal
side,
he
we've
gets.
seen
If
Tennessee
he keeps
Well,
lock
keeps
up
his
Ryan
high play,
Tannehill. We've seen San
anyway,
Francisco say no.
coming into next
Going
season.
back
Be
home
interested.
to
Yeah, I was
Bay
going to say
Area is not
it all
gonna
depends
be
on this
a
year's
possibility.
production. I mean, look
Certainly
at
there's other
Tannehill.
landing spots,
That
and
is
he
another
should
one that
pursue them. But I
even though he's
thought
already got his
the
contract
fact
now,
that Josh
it weighs a lot on
McDaniels
what
did
happens
not
next
get a
season.
head coaching job
Which I think
would
is
allow his offense
kind
to
of
stay
similar.
in
It won't be
place
similar to
in
Dak.
New
I think I
England.
don't know why
And
you've
let's
not
face
signed
it, the strength
I
that
don't know why
Tom
we haven't.
Brady has
It's
had is 20
could be Dak
years
asking
in
for
the
too
same
much money,
system.
but
And I think that is
sometimes
a
you've got to
huge
overpay for
advantage
some players. Like
when
if
you
you sign
get
Dak this
into
season to a
tight
$35 million
situations in
contract,
games where
next
he can
season
just
he'd look
go
cheap
to that
just because
recall
of the players that
button
are coming down the
and pull
pipeline.
something
The
out
more
that
you
he
wait,
did
the more the
a
price
decade,
Why don't
goes.
you
maybe
give him
even
to
2
Miami?
decades
You
ago
get two.
to try
There
to
you
get
go.
themselves into a good position
It's
to try
not
to
a
win
good
a game.
idea, but
He's
Well,
done
it's an
that a
option
number
because
of
at this point
times,
he's
and
not
so
signing long term.
I think from
Yeah, there
Brady's
you go.
standpoint,
I think the
it just
Dolphins
still
say no
makes
because
sense to stay
they
in
want to
New
get their own
England
guy in the
while
building,
you
but
kind of listen to
Tua
what
wants to be a Dallas
the
Cowboy,
whispers
but
are
I
out there,
don't see
and
it
you might
happening.
be interested.
No, I know.
It will be a cheaper option, but we don't know what that hip's looking like. We don't know if he can even play in the NFL yet. Although he will be a first-round pick and he has a lot of talent, it's still that risk involved. Will he be that star? I think he will be, but I think the Dolphins, there's no way they give it. Well, the Lions have actually got we think that Burrow and Chase are going to 1 2. So the Lions will have the first shot too if they really want him.
Jeff Okudah.
Think Jeff Okudah's going there?
On Ryan Tannehill the whole way and not
I'd say
Brady.
so. And talking of Jeff Okudah's a corner, isn't he?
He is.
Talking of arguably best corners. Best
another
corner in the
opportunity
draft, Jeff
elsewhere.
Okudah.
Well, first of all,
By a
guys,
long
if
shot,
it
yeah.
makes
But I just
sense
don't
and we're
think
catchy, I think
he's
this
going to last that long
is
at all.
quarterback
He's going to be
friendly.
top 10
Free
easily.
agent friendly.
Oh,
sounds
he don't
so
make it out
much
the top
better.
10.
But
No way
we've
makes it
never
out.
I don't
seen
think it makes it out the top
quarterbacks like
5.
this. Are they on the move? Where are they
If
going?
there's no trades, I think
for
the
whom
Lions.
with
Who's
whom
in
are
at
they
number
signing?
4?
Are they getting tagged?
Giants.
It's been a
I had
lot
them
of
taking Isaiah
quarterback
Simmons
stuff.
at linebacker from
Call me
Clemson, but maybe
crazy
they look at offensive
after the
linemen.
first
Were they not
time.
looking at Mehdi Becton?
I know.
They do like
you're looking
Mekhi
at
Becton
Sean
a
Sounds
lot.
Becton, sorry.
bad.
I call him Mekhi.
Mike Giardi
Big Mekhi
painted a
Becton.
picture of
Mekhi
sides that
No, but
haven't
Big
talked.
Mekhi
He does a
Becton,
great
yeah.
job
But I am
reporting
excited for the
us
draft.
on
Obviously, the
favorite
free
team,
agency is
Patriots.
almost like a
I trust him
precursor to the draft. So
implicitly. Somehow
a lot
I
of places
still
we're
think
looking
they're
at,
gonna
for
make it
example, I'm
work.
not saying this will happen.
Bill
But for
and
example,
Tom
if Joe
back together
Burrow,
again,
if
maybe
the
even a
Bengals went
number
and got
7 in
Brady,
the bank
not
down
happening,
the
but
road. But
then they wouldn't have to get Burrow.
somehow
So then their
I think
first pick
Brady
could
returns
change
to New
in
England.
the draft. So that's kind of this free agency will
Right.
tell us a lot about what
You don't have
teams
to
need and
learn
what
a
teams
new
want
system.
Yeah.
in comparison to us doing it right now. I mean, for all we know, the Redskins go and pick up an edge rusher, which I'd be very surprised.
Been some uncertainty with
Maybe.
the new CBA, so that's part of the reason why.
There's some
we don't
news
know what
earlier
we
on
can
about
pay you,
Christine
we don't know how
Kirksey,
much we can pay
the
you
Browns
for how
linebacker
long.
that released.
But,
Signed a 2-year,
listen,
$16
the
million
glove
deal with the
definitely
Packers.
fits
Now, I
and
do
it
like this
fits
signing for the
best
Packers.
in New England
Apparently, they're
from
going
an
to lose
offensive
Blake
standpoint.
Martinez, their middle
But
linebacker,
let's
so they needed
just
to get a
play
replacement.
conspiracy theory right here,
Kirksey's
right?
been a bit
Let's
injury prone,
just
but I think for them,
say
a competing
that
team,
rumors are
cheaper
true
contracts
that
really, only $8 million a
Tom
season.
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
is a good signing for them.
It's going to move for
You
Kirksey
know
as well.
what? It's,
It is,
hey,
yeah.
He's gone to a
I think they'll be
competing team now,
successful
yeah.
because of me.
And I think that's,
And they're
I mean, they
both
can't
standing
really
on the
moan
other
at that.
side
He
and
might
say,
not be
no,
as
no,
much
it's
money
me.
as
Would
if he was
the
a top of the
ultimate mic
end
drop for Tom
linebacker, but
Brady be
he's
to
getting
go to
enough
Miami
money, and
Dolphins?
he's now on a
They've
team
got
which is
the most
definitely
cap
competing.
space in the NFL right now.
comments
They've got
Just
an
yeah, I was gonna say,
ton
just
of
click the
collateral in
space
the draft,
bar.
3 first-round
We
picks.
also have,
But for Tom Brady
Oh, we've got a
to possibly have a
Olivia,
chance
I don't know if
to
it's the
go to
same
Miami
for everyone, but
Dolphins, who I'm sure his wife would not have
woman
beef
is
with,
taking over the
going
audio
down
on
to
the
Miami.
website.
Stephen Ross
What's
would
that?
now
Some
have
Some woman is
his
talking
new
over the
face of
radio.
franchise.
Audio on the website.
Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Ah, we'll try sort it again. Bloody hell. Keep talking, Will. Bloody all the issues today. Everything's turned off.
No. We fixed it. A video was playing.
But everything's turned off.
No. A video was playing on the NFL website.
Oh.
Free agency frenzy.
I think that's sabotage. Absolute sabotage.
So that has now been paused. We've also got some more breaking news to do with the San Francisco 49ers. Let me see if that one is a done deal. Yeah, it is. The 49ers are re-signing star defensive end Eric Armstead to a 5-year contract. So that's a big signing for the 49ers defensive line.
Sorry, it's just the whole chat going, is anyone else hearing this random woman talking?
Rowan's put yeah.
Yeah, no.
He's put good now.
To be fair, we've had it all day. I think it's because we're using these websites.
They just start playing videos
Yeah.
automatically. don't
So
they?
when you go on, like, for example, because like when we did the deadline day stream, there was a constant thread, but we're having to go to different websites to pick different news because they don't have a constant thread. For example, like they do for deadline day, and we like to get random women to do to do random
So have a chat, won't you?
intersections of the thing. But it's all right. We go again.
We do.
I'm gonna get some news up on my phone, hopefully.
There's not much breaking at the moment.
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner para sa nanuot naman ng inodoro.
That news on Eric Armstead, which I think for the 49ers it's a big player to get back because he's one of their star defensive ends, had a bit of a breakout season for them. So that's a very good signing for the 49ers, keeping him around, and he would have got paid anywhere else. So they've done well to keep him there. The position that I'm most intrigued about in free agency this season is the cornerbacks. There seems to be a lot of good cornerbacks on the market. Just to name a few, we've got Prince Amukamara, James Bradbury from the Panthers, who had a really good season, Ronald Darby, who's been a bit nicked up from the Eagles, but in general, a pretty good cornerback.
Let's turn this bitch off. No more.
What's that?
That woman.
General manager of Sports Corner.
Here we are.
I muted it. See.
Let's find out.
Could you still hear it?
Yeah,
She's still giving it the big one, isn't she?
How are we all doing?
I'm not too bad. You're a big Steelers fan, aren't you, Josh?
I'm a massive Steelers fan. I cannot lie.
Who's your Steelers player, Josh?
Bud Dupree.
Put Dupree.
Yeah.
Just being tagged.
I can't deny. I'm very excited about today. Right, I don't know why it's coming through because it is muted.
That's what it should be muted. I don't know
This is
why.
what makes no sense. The only thing
I don't
that
know why it's coming
Just
through.
put in the comments: is the sound still coming through?
is there a random woman talking? Do you think it's a ghost?
It might be. Ghost. I don't know why it's coming through. Which website were you on? Have you got the?
Rowan's put it on certain websites.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why it's coming through because the sound's muted.
I've done everything,
That's
haven't I?
really weird. Yeah, everything's muted.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know why.
But
Well, leave it.
Rowan's
Just
put 3 laughing emojis. He's laughing his head off. He's Rowan.
But no,
Nothing we've done.
If any more sound does come through, let the boys know in the chat, and we'll see if we can sort
You let us know as well.
Enjoy the free agency frenzy.
Thanks. Enjoy the Steelers.
Oh, well, do. Oh, the Steelers.
That is Josh, general manager of the Sports Corner.
The GM.
The Sports Corner Inc. Incorporated. There we go.
So before we had the technical difficulties, I was just talking about the cornerback position in free agency, and it's probably the most interesting position in free agency this year, in my opinion, just because of the talent of players at that position. James Bradbury from the Panthers could be getting a lot of money. Obviously, I talked about Ronald Darby. Chris Harris Jr. has been linked with a couple of teams since the window's opened. Byron Jones, obviously. Jonathan Joseph, getting a bit old now, but could be a good signing for someone.
Texans trade Hopkins to Arizona.
No way.
No way.
I don't.
No, is that the? Oh my god!
Wow, Kyler Murray's got himself a new offensive weapon.
I tell you what, the Cardinals.
Oh my god, it's actually happened.
The
Texans
Cardinals
are trading wide receiver and DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals.
Are they going to take? That's a first round pick, surely.
The details are yet to be released.
That's got to be
right now.
That's got to be a first round pick. That isn't. Get that. Do you know how to change it?
Do you just double tap it?
No, you're on the wrong thing. Come here.
Edit.
Come here.
What you do it?
It's all right. No, it's all right. You can.
We'll put DeAndre Hopkins, and we can also put the Eric Armstead one.
Oh God. Oh, why is it not doing anything?
Do it one at a time.
It's all right. This is going well, isn't it? I cannot believe that's actually going to be a thing, by the way. But we move. Do you want me to add one to this as well?
Can do.
Go on, what do you want to
add? Eric Armstead resigns with the...
Is it that?
Yeah. Resigns with the 49ers.
Here we go. We'll add that one to the Rolling Stones. And there we go. Back to the free agency. WTF, this is crazy, David Johnson. Ryan, I completely agree. DeAndre Hopkins is leaving the Texans to go to Arizona.
Some using Eric Armstead real quickly.
That's got to be a first round pick.
Eric Armstead, he will earn $17 million annually on his new 5-year deal.
Welcome, Ryan, to the stream. I cannot believe.
If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, share it. But yeah, that is...
Oh, David Johnson is the crazy... Well, to be fair, I think they're both a bit crazy.
They're both crazy.
They're both a bit crazy, to be honest. I mean, I can't believe they're losing DeAndre Hopkins.
That is mental. That is crazy.
That is the best wide receiver in the league, arguably.
Last year, everyone said DeAndre Hopkins is an asset who is untouchable. No one can trade for him, but he is. He will be an Arizona Cardinal, and I bet Kyler Murray's pretty happy about that.
I agree with Eagles fan, which is the fact that they're going to get the number 8 pick. I agree.
It's got to be for a player of his talent, but obviously they don't want CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy.
I think they will. I think they will take Jerry Jeudy.
No, I mean like the Cardinals obviously don't want to trade away the pick for DeAndre Hopkins.
You might as well take DeAndre Hopkins because you've got proven talent.
So the trade deal is DeAndre Hopkins in a 4th for David Johnson, a 2nd, and a 2021 4th. So no first round picks are involved.
No first round pick. DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th round.
So it turns out the trade for David Johnson to the Texans was actually this whole time. DeAndre was all this time DeAndre Hopkins going to the Cardinals. So they've swapped players and picks.
So they get a 4th rounder next year, a 2nd rounder this year. There'll still be a good wide receiver left in the draft, but maybe they've...
wow, that's
unbelievable.
a big hole now
that
for
is a massive
Deshaun Watson.
That's a massive loss.
It is. For a competing team like the Texans, you lose DeAndre Hopkins.
That is a massive, massive loss. But we said free agency can... I mean, that came out of nowhere.
It did.
Because he's not a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins
is locked up for quite a while on his contract.
But we saw a report saying that they were in draft hell and they needed picks. DeAndre Hopkins was a casualty of them picks. And there he is. He's gone. Just like that.
It's pretty mental. Ryan Barron's put terrible. Feel sorry for the Texans. David Johnson isn't the same.
No, it's not.
I do agree with that. David Johnson.
It's a different weapon. It's a different
offensive player. But I think what it means is David Johnson isn't the same player as he was in Arizona for a few years ago.
Yeah, and he isn't the same
no.
caliber, I don't think. Ryan, who do you support? Let us know, and we'll talk a bit about them and their free agency.
But I mean, we've heard the rumours that the Texans are in cap hell, and all they've acquired is a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick. They've got worse at wide receiver and got an old running back.
I would have said held out for a first round and not wanted David Johnson. I don't understand.
It's a crazy trade. I did not see that coming.
I would like to see Texans Twitter right now.
Oh, I bet it's absolutely blowing up.
I'll tell you what. Let me just go see Josh 2 seconds.
All right, mate. So put in the comments what you think of the DeAndre Hopkins trade. Obviously, massive news on this first day of NFL free agency. David Johnson being sent to the Texans. DeAndre Hopkins going to Arizona the other way. Arizona will receive a 4th-round pick. The Texans will receive a 2nd and a 4th-round pick in 2021. So a massive blockbuster trade on NFL free agency day 1. Put in the comments what you think about it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We don't just cover NFL. We also cover football. On a Wednesday, we have the Top Corner podcast. We have the Wrestling Corner on a Tuesday. So if you like wrestling, tune in for that. Today would usually be Team of the Week predictions, but obviously with the coronavirus things are going on, we can't actually predict a Team of the Week because there's no Team of the Week available because no one's playing. So this is why we're doing the stream today on free agency. But yeah, put in the comments what you think about that because this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Did not see it coming at all. So we'll look at any more news coming in from JPA. Just all over this DeAndre Hopkins trade, which is absolutely crazy. So Deshaun Watson is now throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and Kenny Stills with David Johnson in the backfield. That was tweeted out by Field Yates 6 minutes ago. And then 3 minutes later, the Texans lose DeAndre Hopkins. This is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'll look at some more news. Why didn't Philly trade a first for him? Well, you can look at that. Obviously, they only gave up David Johnson and a 2nd-round pick to get him. It looks like a steal, and if I was a Philly fan, I would be pretty annoyed because if you could have got DeAndre Hopkins for a first-round pick, that would have been an absolute steal. And I know you have a massive hole at wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins would have been a great signing for you. Who do you think? What wide receiver do you think you're going to sign in free agency, or in the draft? Birdman Eagles. What wide receiver do you want on the team? Obviously, there's rumours of Henry Ruggs. You might trade up for him. You might sign Robbie Anderson in free agency. But who do you think you will sign? Will you try and make a run at Amari Cooper, possibly from the Dallas Cowboys? I wouldn't be very happy with that, but it's definitely a possibility at this point now.
Who did Ryan Barron spot?
He's not replied again yet. Is Austin Hooper official? It is official. He's signed with the Cleveland Browns and he's now the highest paid tight end in the league. Tight end Austin Hooper. Yeah, you can do if you want, yeah.
Yeah, go on. I'll add it to the scroll at the bottom. We'll add about the tight end because he's no longer the breaking news because of what's just happened.
And I think Eric Armstead signed with the 49ers. That one kind of got passed on because of the Andrew Hopkins news. Just to reiterate what happened with Eric Armstead, he re-signed with the 49ers on a 5-year deal and he will earn about $17 million annually. So that's a big re-sign for the 49ers because he was their leading sack defensive end in front of Nick Bosa, surprisingly. So that's a very big re-sign for the 49ers. But right now, since that DeAndre Hopkins trade, all there is Twitter going crazy.
I was going to say, I can't believe the DeAndre Hopkins... it's live on the Sports Corner. I've just gone to tweet about it. Because that is by far the biggest thing that's happened today.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Definitely.
Without a doubt.
I mean, do you think that's bigger than Brady?
I think Brady's still probably the biggest free agent available, but in terms of news, I did not see that coming at all. Tyrann Matthews actually replied to the tweet saying that he's been traded. Tyrann Matthews just put "shake my effing head," so he's not very happy with the card with somebody for making that trade.
Ryan asks for any news on Eric Ebron. I will look for you on Twitter now, see if I can see anything for you.
Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron?
Yeah.
Not Eric Ebron?
No.
Well,
but he was having such a good season last year. He was actually a Pro Bowl last year, so I started calling him Eric LeBron because the guy was having a great season.
Indeed. I've still not got a reply. Who do you support, Ryan?
Ryan, who's your team? Who do you support?
I'm not seeing anything official.
Wow. Birdman's just put up a possibility it could be CeeDee Lamb and DeAndre Hopkins on the same offense and Kyler Murray.
That's insane.
Because they've still got their 8th overall pick.
They are still... I thought it would be for the 8th overall pick, but it's not.
For a 2nd-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, the NFL has gone absolutely crazy.
There's a few fans... There's fans that want Eric Ebron. Falcons fans want Ebron. Steelers want Ebron. The Packers, people are saying the Packers. Oh, you support the Patriots? Well, you're not welcome. No, stay around.
Where do you think Tom Brady will end up? Do you think he'll re-sign with the Patriots? Do you think he'll sign with another team, maybe the Chargers, maybe the Raiders, maybe the Bucks? Where do you think he'll end up? And what free agency players are you looking? What free agency players do you want the Patriots to sign?
Anyone new, please put comments in. React to what's been happening, because it was slow at first, but it has picked up in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I can't believe how much it's picked up, to be honest. That threw me for a loop, that has. Genuinely threw me for a loop.
Because I did not expect to see DeAndre Hopkins being traded for a second-round pick. No way.
I thought he was a first-rounder guaranteed. And I don't know. We've got another comment here that I can't read.
Any news on my favourite team, the New York Jets? At the moment, there's nothing.
There was a minute ago, though, didn't we? We said, where do we think the Jets guy will go?
Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson.
He's still in limbo. We don't know where he's going to end up, but the Jets might look to re-sign him because he's probably their best
I'll tell you what,
wide receiver. As of right now.
I'll look around for you, mate, Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
I'll look around for some New York Jets free agency rumours for you. But at the moment, we're all recovering from DeAndre Hopkins, and Austin Hooper. That's a big deal as well.
Yeah, the Austin Hooper's it's a good signing for the Browns. They're probably the best tight end on this market by a long shot, and he's now a Cleveland Brown. He's now off the market.
Let's have a look. ESPN said yesterday that the Jets won't blow up free agency again, but they plan to be active.
Like always.
So there is rumours
to spend that money.
That you are going to be active. I'll just have a look at some NFL trade rumours.
Apparently the Jets are interested in Vinny Curry, according to Birdman Eagles. Obviously Vinny Curry was a defensive end for the Eagles for many years. Might be a bit older now, but could be a good veteran signing for the Jets.
Ryan Barron, I see Tom Brady going to the Patriots because the Buccaneers don't have the weapons on offense. I disagree with weapons on offense. I think he said that Tom Brady's going to stay with the Patriots and maybe not the Buccaneers because they don't have the offense.
Well, the Buccaneers do have an offense, actually.
I think we've got the Mike Evans.
And Chris Godwin as well.
Yeah.
O.J. Howard, good young tight end.
A few good wide receivers, but I understand that the pitch he's used to that system.
Yeah.
Like he knows he's obviously got is it Edelman?
Julian Edelman.
I nearly called him Julian Nagelsmann.
Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman, that is.
Yeah, Julian Edelman indeed. Thank you everyone who's here with us now. Please like, subscribe, put some comments in. We don't mind answering whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever you want.
Unless you're Green Bay Packers fan, do not talk.
Dolphins, we've got some news on the Dolphins here. They have strong interest in defensive end Shaq Lawson from the Bills. They might be looking to sign him.
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting when you come to the Dolphins because if you want to leave the team like the Bills who made the playoffs, do you want to go to the Dolphins? But I think there's a future with the Dolphins.
Definitely a future.
They seem to be one of them teams that, do you know when you're investing in a project? I think the project to invest in right now would be the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. You look at Jacksonville, they're at the infancy of a project.
They are.
I think they're getting rid of some of the big ones.
Lewis put Eric LeBron picked ahead of Odell Beckham, Aaron Donald and Zach Martin. By the way, just to put into context, Odell Beckham, Aaron Donald and Zach Martin are former All-Pro players, whereas Eric LeBron, as we like to call him, is now a free agent. So the Lions could have had an All-Pro guard, they could have had the best defensive tackle in the league, they could have had an All-Pro wide receiver, but instead they get Eric LeBron.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
The Steelers have terminated the contracts of Mark Barron, Anthony Chickalo and Johnny Holton.
Birdman Eagles put Watson's going to demand a trade. I mean, that would blow this whole
Well, if
day.
I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm not very happy. I was happy when I saw we're getting
David Johnson,
not Daniel Johnson. But you see that we've given up DeAndre Hopkins in return. I'm not happy about that.
I'd be very unhappy.
Yeah.
To be fair, I like DeAndre Hopkins because there was one mic'd up last year, and one of the coaches came up to him and said, "You're the best in the game," and he went, "Do you know what I replied? I know I am." And he's like, he knows how good he is. I mean, him to go to Arizona, he's got a young QB in Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And I just think that's
They've got Kenyon Drake. They've still got Larry Fitzgerald.
It's a really nice team Arizona are creating now.
Yeah.
And they've got a draft pick at number 8. Do you think they need another wide receiver?
Well, Larry Fitzgerald is getting a bit older, and DeAndre Hopkins will be their number 1.
But just for a season?
Possibly. Maybe they look at someone like Mekhi Becton.
Improve the offensive line.
Yeah, protect Kyler Murray. Ryan Barron's put the Dolphins signed Eric Flowers.
They did.
Like I said, I just did not see that one coming.
They did indeed. They did sign Eric Flowers, which again they've got to put use to this cap space that they've got because they've got 100 million of it.
They do.
And 10 million of that has gone on Eric Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see where this other 90 million goes. I'd like to see them pick up Maybe not a few better players than that, but
Lance Zerline's put on Twitter. He's put teams need GMs, basically saying, "What on earth are you doing trading away DeAndre Hopkins for a second round?"
I have no idea why they were trading away DeAndre Hopkins for a second rounder, but
the Falcons have released tight end Luke Stocker, not a household name, but another tight end on the market that teams do want a tight end.
Well, there's not that. We were talking earlier. There's not that many tight ends.
Not really.
Out and about, and I think Austin Hooper, the biggest tight end, is a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah.
If some of you didn't know, some of you are in the stream now. As I say, feel free to put your comments in, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, all that YouTubey stuff.
Like I said earlier, we don't just do NFL on the Sports Corner channel. We do football on a Wednesday with the Top Corner podcast. We have.
Do we though anymore?
Well. For the foreseeable future, we don't know because, like we say, all sports have been cancelled apart from the NFL off-season. This is the only bit of sport news that we're going to get for a while, I think.
But this is the only sports news we need as NFL fans anyway from the UK. Indeed. I'm very excited for the draft, but this is, as I say, this is the precursor to the draft, and I'm very excited as it moves forward. I'm not going to lie.
Someone's taking the mickey here a bit. They've put Nick Foles for Deshaun Watson. Now makes a ton of sense for Houston.
I mean, it would be insane if the Jags ended up with Deshaun Watson, because I'd now start to believe that their future is looking a lot brighter than it once was.
I just would. There's no way they should with Deshaun Watson, but we can all dream. Cam Hayward's put, man, we need to start drug testing some of these GMs and coaches. Lol, questionable moves.
It is a questionable move.
It is, because you've got to play out DeAndre Hopkins, the top wide receiver in the NFL. He's always had a good connection with Deshaun Watson. You trade him away for a couple of picks. And David Johnson, and you know, if you don't end up with a first-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins,
I don't know how
you've done something wrong there.
That is awful. Is Bill O'Brien worse as a head coach or a general manager?
General manager, definitely.
A
coach, he's took him to the playoffs a few times, but what the hell is he thinking as a general manager, trading away DeAndre Hopkins?
I really...
Adam Ranks put, the Jags, we're going to trade our good players. The Texans, hold my beer.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I don't know. I really don't understand this one.
I don't. And this is definitely the biggest piece of news so far on NFL Free Agency Day 1. We'll see what other deals start to come through. Obviously, there's still some big players like Tom Brady. There's still Amari Cooper. There's still Jadeveon Clowney. So there's still some very big players that are looking to get new deals as we progress into the new league year on Wednesday.
I'm very excited to see what this means for the rest of the league now.
Definitely.
In terms of where they're going to go from here. Because, I mean, the Texans are not in trouble. I don't want to say that because they've still got a good team. But they have lost their offensive weapon.
They have.
Do you think that's something internally with Hopkins? No. I just think they needed the picks. They're in a desperation state, personally.
They needed the picks, but they didn't even get a first-round pick, which is...
I think that's just I think that's just bad management.
Yeah, it is.
Because do you seriously think the Cardinals were the only ones involved?
I don't think that they were the only team involved, but maybe the market just wasn't very strong for DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe he might have had an underlying injury. We don't know, but whatever's the reason why he's been traded, all we know is Arizona have got their number one receiver, and Kyler Murray is, well, he's chuffed, isn't he? He's chuffed that he's got DeAndre Hopkins to throw to now.
I don't know if we've mentioned Rick Wagner is agreed to terms with the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
So his time in Green Bay is over.
Ricky Wagner?
I think so.
Has he signed with the Packers? I swear he got released by the Lions a few days ago.
He might have signed with the Packers.
I think is that a new signing?
It could be. I'm looking at it. Agreed to terms, so it's 2 years for $11 million is what I'm seeing on the Draft Network.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I think it is a new signing for the Packers. So if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, they've just signed right tackle Ricky Wagner, who was just released by the Lions.
The Detroit Lions. There you go. Agreed to terms to stay. Well, to go to Green Bay.
To go to Green Bay.
Yeah. I don't know why I said he's going to leave Green Bay. I doubt it. No, he's signed for them, to be honest.
Keep them comments coming in. Like and share the video. Obviously, free agency is very exciting. What's this?
Someone did the trade on Madden and the trade got declined.
So I'm not surprised, really. I'm not surprised.
It's not a good trade. I don't know where that came from. But
yeah. But obviously, we had some other big news before free agency even started, and that was the new CBA.
Yes.
Saturday night, NFL players voted to ratify the new CBA. The new CBA will take effect starting in 2021 and will run through 2030. So a 10-year deal. And it basically needed a simple majority to go through. So it needed to be more people vote yes than no, and that's what happened. 1,019 people voted yes, and only 959 people voted no. Well, I say only, but that's Still a lot.
It was nearly half, but it was a fair enough majority.
So an estimated 79.1% of the players voted on the CBA. So about 20% of the players didn't even vote on the CBA, which is a bit of a shocker, really.
Yeah, now that one interests me. Like teams, it's one of them where like players will moan about it. Did you vote? No. It's like an election.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about politics, but it was like an election.
Yeah, and if this new CBA deal hadn't gone through, there could have been a lockout, and it could have meant that some teams just sit out for agency, which would have been a shame because we wouldn't have had these big deals going through today. So what exactly have some of the players thought about it? Well, obviously we know Aaron Rodgers was not a big admirer of it.
No, we did have a quote from him saying, "Fuck that shit," politely.
He did.
Of course.
And he liked the added off-season recovery time, but he won't be getting that now with the new.
Actually, if there is anyone new watching, let us know all the teams that we've got that we all support. Because obviously, we've got Will, Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys fan.
Me, Minnesota Vikings. We know Rowan, who is part of the Sports Corner channel, does the Wrestling Corner on a Tuesday. He's in on there on a Wednesday, usually playing fishdom, but he supports the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've got Josh in there, who we can say is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I think fans being polite. He likes the team.
Just likes the Steelers.
And we've got Kieran Dillon, who follows Jameis wherever Jameis goes, because Jameis Winston is a free agent.
He is.
And now he's got eyes. He might be good. He might
eyes
be.
and a new shoulder.
Exactly.
He might be actually a decent QB
The future looks bright for quarterback.
He was never a bad QB. Just needs to start throwing all them interceptions.
That's it. But it wouldn't be as fun to watch, would it? So we'll move on.
The new CBA as well, it's changed the season structure completely, hasn't it, really?
Louis did say Wagner was a lion and he sucked anyway.
Yeah.
To be fair, Louis, you did suck. Politely, from what I know. Even though I did see a Lions fan taking the mick that we'd signed Kirk Cousins to an extra 2-year deal, and in the last 2 years you are 4-0. Not you. I'm not blaming you, Louis.
The Lions are 4-0
against us.
Oh well, might be that bogey team.
No, we were 4-0 against, but I'm like, don't take the mick out of us. You like Matt Stafford though.
I think Matt Stafford's still a good QB. I just think he seems to be getting those niggling injuries now. And
yeah,
he's very, very strange with the Lions because you look at their roster and on most positions they've got some talented players. They've got Matt Stafford, obviously got injured.
Darius
like I said.
Slay.
They've got Darius Slay at cornerback, but they've got Thierry Johnson at running back.
Is Darius Slay a free agent?
No, he's not. But he's been in trade rumours for the last couple of seasons, really. But they've got Kenny Golladay, wide receiver, who's a good young wide receiver. They've got Marvin Jones. The offensive line is average, really, and they've got a young tight end in T.J. Hawkinson, who's a very good tight end.
Yeah.
And they signed Trey Flowers to a big deal last off season from the Patriots. They signed Justin Coleman to a big deal. So the Lions definitely want to win now, but it's not looking that way. It's not looking very good for them at the moment. They just can't seem to get a break, really. But as I was talking about the new CBA. The 16-game regular season will be the same until next season. The extra game won't come in until next season. But this season, the playoffs will be expanded from 12 to 14 teams. So that means one extra team in each conference. So only the first seed in each conference will now get a bye week. It'll be 2nd versus 7th. It'll be 3rd versus 6th. And 4th versus 5th in terms of seeding. That's how the NFL playoffs will now work. And it basically means the owners now receive 53% of the players of the revenue. Players receive 47% of the revenue.
What do you think of the extra playoff team?
I mean, I don't hate it because it's just more games, isn't it?
Yeah,
for the fans.
That's what I was thinking. It was more games in general, and that's what I'm really interested in.
Mm.
But as we were talking about it, we did talk about the new CBA a couple of weeks ago, and we had to look at it from both our point of view, their point of view, the players' point of view, and like, to be fair, it does all come down to money, and it will end up being more about money rather than, for example, extra games means more
it says
TV
here
money.
that minimum salaries have been increased, so that the fringe players will be getting more money. The one I find the most interesting though is drug policies. Players can now no longer be banned from the NFL for testing positive for marijuana.
I did see that. See that.
A lot of players have David Irving, Randy Gregory, Le'Veon Bell got caught smoking weed a few years ago. So players can now no longer be suspended from the NFL for smoking marijuana.
According to Pro Football Talk, Bears are talking to Teddy Bridgewater.
Right, that's interesting because
and they might be making him a starter over Mitch Trubisky.
Well, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm excited about that move because Teddy Bridgewater is a pretty good quarterback and he's definitely better than Mitchell Trubisky. Comment from Louis. Who have you got for the NFC West now? Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, and 49ers all looking playoff worthy. I think it's probably the best division in football now. when you take into account.
Who's in that division?
Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, and 49ers.
Wow.
It's a tough one, that. It is a tough one.
I mean, the Cardinals are going to struggle but now they've got DeAndre. That is the best division. I think.
I think the move for the Cardinals is very, very good. They need a wide receiver, but you've got to look at the roster as a whole. And I think the Cardinals, they might fight for a playoff spot next season, but I don't think they will make the playoffs. They will fight for the playoffs. I think it's all, how is Kyler Murray in his second season? Does he set that big jump? As an elite quarterback?
I think the Rams are going to drop off. I think the Rams.
I think they do as well, because I don't think Todd Gurley comes back healthy.
No, I think they're bottom of that division personally,
which is crazy because they were in the Super Bowl last year.
I think it's between. I think the Seahawks depends because they're all patched up. So once they are fully fit, they were good anyway. But could they win the division? Yeah. And I'm interested the 49ers come next year as well.
It's all about matchups really, but as long as the Seahawks have got Russell Wilson playing for them, they've always got a chance just because of how good he is.
I mean, the 49ers don't have much draft picks, do they? Because they might trade away
their 32nd. They might trade away their first round pick to get more picks because they don't have a pick till round 5, I believe.
Exactly.
Which is a big hole for them.
So if they don't pick up a pick,
but they still do have their roster intact, and they've just re-signed Arik Armstead to a new deal, so they've still got their defense. They've still got Jimmy G. They actually re-signed their. They're looking to re-sign Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver, so that could be an offensive weapon for Jimmy G. They've still got George Kittle, so
it'd be very interesting to see the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks win the division, but I'm not sure between the 49ers and Cardinals.
It's a tough one. Who are you picking? We need to answer the question. Who are you picking to win the NFC? Do you think two teams come out of the NFC? Do you think two
teams
are
coming out of that? Two teams are coming out of that. I'm going to go with Seahawks, Cardinals. I'm risking it, and I think they both make the playoffs.
I think the 49ers win the division. No, I think the Seahawks win the division.
I think the Seahawks win the division.
And I think the 49ers come in as a wildcard team. I know it's tougher for teams who made the playoffs to remake the playoffs again, but I think there's just too much talent on that
divisional matchup.
49ers squad.
The divisional matchup will be very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. But the Cardinals and the Rams are still two very good teams, and they will be fighting. Ryan's put, I don't understand why Teddy Bridgewater wants to resign because Breeze is old, but still has 2 years left in him. Well,
I don't think he is re-signing.
Yeah, you've just said that.
I think he might be going to the Bears,
which would be a good signing for the Bears.
It would be indeed. And I mean, a lot of people are just tweeting at the moment saying that Deshaun Watson will be, it's fair to say, not very happy with the trade deal that's happened.
Actually, 3 minutes ago, it's just broken according to Mike Florio. Teddy Bridgewater is finalising a contract with the Bears.
He's finalising.
So he will be the new quarterback for the Bears, and he'll be fighting for that starting spot with.
Brian Gonzalez says next year it could possibly be 3 teams leaving a division.
Well, yeah, it could be with the extra team.
Depending on record, and I mean, but you do face your division rivals twice, yeah. So that's 6 games out the. Is it a 17-game season or 17's coming in?
17 coming not this upcoming season, but the season after the 17-game season can come into effect.
I think it'll be one of the most exciting divisions to watch. Do I think 3 teams will get out? You know what? No. Just due to the divisional matchups
and beating up on each other.
Yeah, because I think it might work in one of them where you see a really tough group and everyone ends against each other 3-3. Do you know that could be where it ends up, and that's automatically 3 losses for one of these teams. And we saw last year, top in the division is 13-3. So that means them teams all beat each other and then they never lose a game again, which is unlikely. So I don't see 3 teams coming out of that division. But we will be doing a season preview at some point. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to get the logistics sorted. But we will be doing a full season preview. We'll do our standings. We may even do our matchups to the Super Bowl. That's going to look terrible come next season. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going in.
Well, it's very hard to get it right because there's always that team that's a surprise.
I'm...
Also, if you are new to the stream, make sure you do subscribe, like, comment, share. We don't like Kieran, do you want to explain what else we do on this channel?
Oh, yeah, NFL? Sure. We usually have some esports sort of things on a Monday. We've got Team of the Week predictions, but that's not coming, so this is why this stream's in place. Tuesday is WWE, your AEW, your wrestling. Wednesday is soccer or football, depending where you're from. That's usually our Big Daddy show, which is the top corner. Then there's us on a Thursday, which is the Sports Corner YouTube channel. Please make sure to drop your subscriptions, drop your comments, drop anything you want, drop the team you support in the NFL. We really don't mind answering whatever you've got. And that is all the logistics done. and general manager of Sports Corner Industries will be very happy, and I hope I get a pay rise because I'm looking at him through the glass. There he is.
The more subscriptions, the more money for us, so subscribe.
No, I'm only joking. we do this because we love it, and I'm very happy that everyone's enjoying it. Everyone can see this screen, by the way.
I know, yeah. I'm trying to get Teddy Bridgewater on there.
Oh, right.
Do you want to Teddy Bridgewater? Because he's apparently signing with the Bears, isn't he?
Ow, I'm caught. I'm stuck. Ow. I'm literally caught. Right, go on. Where do you want Teddy Bridgewater?
We need him on the one below, I think.
You want him on the this one here. Unbelievable scenes from General Manager Josh. So you want Teddy Bridgewater.
Agreeing to deal with the Bears.
Agrees deal with Chicago Bears. There you go. That's what you need to do. So we'll do that, and then we'll pop here back. Here. There we go.
And apparently they've got him for an absolute bargain, in my opinion. 21 million per season.
I mean,
for a quarterback, for a quarterback of his standard, anyway, that's pretty damn good. That. When you look at the current market, 21 million a season is pretty good.
No, it is indeed, and I think I think if not a starter, it's a challenge for Mitch.
Yeah.
Which he's been lacking for the last couple of seasons, definitely. I don't think it's enough. Ravens fan here, right? James Jones, you're sorted in the quarterback market. You don't need a quarterback.
Who's that?
It's James Jones. He's a Ravens fan. Where do you think you need to improve personally? I'm happy to see a Baltimore Ravens fan.
And are you happy with the Calais Campbell trade that happened last night?
Of course,
just for a 5th round pick. What do you think that brings to your team? Just put in the comments what you think. And obviously, keep commenting and subscribe to the channel.
And also, what's your chances, do you think, of making a Super Bowl next year? Because you were the odds on. Finish the season
number 1 seed in the AFC.
Finish 14-2. Do you go up this year? Do you have a second season slump? It's very interesting. You're going to be one of the teams to watch next year in terms of where your teams end up. Welcome to the stream, James Jones. We do the NFL Corner every Thursday, where we have been talking about the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar, on our top 32 quarterbacks, ended up in a certain position that I won't tell you. Go back and watch it.
Oh.
No, he was second, was Lamar this season, and he had an MVP standout season.
He did. And not bad for a running back, as he likes to say, with 36 passing touchdowns.
Oh, no, not at all. But I think during the Pro Bowl, you sure he wasn't as pinpoint a passer as your Russell Wilson, even Kirk, for example.
But yeah,
that's not his job.
Twitter is still going crazy over that DeAndre Hopkins trade, because it is crazy, because he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And who would have thought the Texans would have discarded him for a second-round pick? Well, I don't say discarded him, because they did get David Johnson, who's a good running back, and a second-round pick, but...
James Jones, you made a good point. 2 5th-round picks. We've got two Pro Bowlers. We're going to take teams apart.
The other player who means there is Marcus Peters, by the way. They traded for Marcus Peters for a 5th-round pick mid-season, and they've now re-signed into a contract extension, which is about $14 million per season. So I was going to say, he's in for the long run as well.
And adding Calais Campbell now is a very good pickup, in my opinion.
It makes it just... Calais Campbell is made to be on a contending team just because of how good he is, really.
Yeah,
it's not point him just staying on the Jags and not doing a lot, because if he was on the Jags, he wouldn't be in the playoffs and he'd be putting up stats for a team that's not competing. So him being on the Ravens is good for both the Ravens and himself.
Which is what he's been doing, really.
Yeah.
And I think, to be fair, your offense wasn't a problem. So I think you might as well pick up. He is a defensive end.
Defensive end, defensive tackle. He's a very versatile defensive lineman who's going to bring pressures.
Exactly.
And he can also stuff the run as well pretty well.
Exactly. So as we were talking about earlier, you lost in the playoffs to the divisional round to the Titans.
Derrick Henry run you over.
Exactly. So next season you'll be able to stuff that run against teams that are becoming more running-based offenses, which seems to be like a big thing in the NFL at the moment, which... Fair enough. I think that is moving that way. We talked about mobile quarterbacks, That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
GD, Packers fan, what do you think we need to leave the NFL completely? No, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, but welcome, GD. You did just pick up Wagner.
Ricky Wagner from the Lions, tackle.
You just picked up Ricky Wagner, so that's, as we've seen, Louis says he's absolutely garbage. So I don't know what you think about that trade yourself. Yeah. What do the Packers need?
I think the Packers need some more offensive weapons.
I was going to say that.
They need it, don't they? I mean,
I would have liked to have seen Hopkins in that offense.
Oh, wow.
That would have been
Aaron Rodgers. Well, would you like to see it being a Minnesota Vikings fan? Because
I
don't know any corners in your roster at the moment that's going to guard
I mean,
Hopkins.
even when we had Xavier Rhodes, he would have had no chance against No, GD, it's all respect. It's all respect, of course. You absolute cheeseheads.
Offensive weapons, I think, would be the things that Packers need to look at this season. Obviously, they signed Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, two very good pass rushers last off-season. They obviously got Adrian Amos as well, who I wanted the Cowboys to sign. Very good safety. But yeah, this off-season, I think you need to look at reinforcing the offense. Obviously, you've lost Jimmy Graham.
He thinks a tight end, which is, do you know what?
Yeah, well, like I said, you just lost Jimmy Graham. It could be
makes
an option. I think Austin Hooper would have been a really good signing for you lot.
Where do you think they picked that up? Do you think they picked that up in free? I don't think there's one in free agency for them. Not good enough, because the Packers are a really good team. As much as I hate to admit it.
Unless you want Jason Witten and he's 36-year-old.
No, but is there one in the draft? I don't know a tight end.
I don't think there's a first-round talent tight end in this year's draft.
I don't know. I don't think you're going to get a tight end this year unless you trade for one, personally.
Maybe.
But I don't see you doing that. So maybe.
Well, the Browns signed Austin Hooper. They might be looking to trade David Njoku now, their young tight end. He could be an option for the Packers.
He could be, and maybe
put him in a new offense.
You mould your offense, you mould him around your offense.
Yeah.
In terms of, if there's anyone that can adapt to a player, it's Aaron Rodgers, not Adam. Aaron Rodgers, who can adapt to an offense. So I think that's more than enough. But as I say, welcome James, welcome GD, welcome everyone else. Just let us know who you support, what you want to talk about. We don't mind, because this is free agency, so this is where all your moves are done with people that are out of contract. Is there anyone out of contract that we're yet to see leave? Tom Brady.
What's that?
Like big free agents that we're yet to see leave.
We've got Tom Brady still in the market. We've still got Amari Cooper. Where the hell is he going to end up?
Yep, Jameis.
Jadeveon Clowney.
He's
still on the market. Yannick Ngakwe's future still in limbo. Will he get traded? Will he stay with the Jags?
He will get traded, but we just don't know when.
I think Hopkins is a first-round talent. Bryson Hopkins. The tight end, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, and Cole Kmet. That's a good shout. That's a good shout indeed.
We do have another signing. Some more breaking news. And it involves the
Give that name a go. Give that name a go. Come on.
Right, let me just get it up. Let me get it up.
Go on, I'm not giving it a go. Nick
Kwiatkowski. Nick Kwiatkowski, middle linebacker from the Bears, had a bit of a standout season this year, and he's now going to the Oakland Raiders.
That's Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. Why do I keep calling the Oakland? I will get it right one day.
Well, indeed. Thank you. No problem, GD. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you come join us every Thursday when we do the NFL Corner. Cole Kmet, is he a first rounder? There is so much talent in this year's draft.
Oh, it's flooded with talent this year.
But if you're thinking tight ends, Cole Kmet's good shout. It's a good shout. We did do our draft preview, and I can't remember how many tight ends we actually had involved.
I don't think we had one.
I think,
but that was only mock draft one straight after the combine. So maybe.
No, I mean when we did combine previews, did we have a tight end in there at all?
We had Albert O. Remember Albert O? Do you remember him?
No.
Albert O, the tight end. I can't remember where he's from. He had a pretty good combine, and he could be. A lot of people are saying he could be maybe a first round pick.
There you go, GD. Your dream of a tight end might come to Albert O. But I think you trade if you're going to get one. I think
David Njoku. I think that would be a nice trade for them.
Yeah, you know what? I can get on board with that. Who else have we got? Bryson Hopkins. Was that another tight end?
Another tight end that's coming up in this upcoming draft.
When it comes to upcoming drafts, do you think Green Bay have got a late pick, haven't they? They must be picked 20.
I think they picked 30 or something. I had them
they picked 30?
I think they are, yeah.
I thought they were picked 29.
One of the two anyway. Whatever happened, they are late in the draft. Maybe I had them taking a linebacker Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, because I think they do need. There is a hole there at linebacker, but now they've got Christian Kirksey. I don't think they need a linebacker anymore. I think they might go for someone like Denzel Mims, wide receiver from Baylor. I think he's a nice fit for them.
It's a good shout.
Someone's put. I'd like to see Brady and Gruden.
James Jones. He says it there.
James Jones, by the way, interesting fact, a former wide receiver for the Packers.
Oh my God! Welcome. Thank you for joining us. No.
Former player James Jones, and James Jones has put. I'd like to see Brady and Gruden. Think it'd be.
Is that Joe Gruden?
John Gruden for the Raiders.
John Gruden.
Yeah. Think it'd be entertaining, but don't think they have great offensive weapons. I agree.
They can always draft them though, because haven't they got 2 picks in the first round?
I think so, yeah. But Tom Brady, we've heard rumours that wherever he goes, he might bring AB with him, Antonio Brown. But obviously, he's not going back to the Raiders after what he did last season.
No, I also think if we're going off offensive weapons, I think Brady goes to the Bucs.
Maybe.
If we're going off offensive weapons,
I think Ryan's put James Jones. Raiders are out on Brady apparently.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But they're moving to a new stadium, so maybe they're sticking with Derek.
Name, don't they?
They might be sticking with Derek Carr. There is Cowboys news.
Where do you think? Who do you call it? What was I going to say now? That Cowboys news has completely thrown me. One for the Raiders fan. Where do you think Derek Carr ends up? Do you think you hold on to Derek Carr? And who would you like to draft? Would you like to draft Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb? Because obviously you do have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some
do you
people
want to get another wide receiver in the draft?
Cowboys have re-signed Blake Jarwin
wow.
for 3 years.
Tight end.
There goes one for the Packers. There you go. You could have had Blake Jarwin if you wanted.
Well, I think Blake Jarwin was a restricted free agent, so only we could have re-signed him. But what's that? 3 years, 24 mil. It's a decent signing.
What's the tight end market looking like?
I think the highest one is now obviously Austin Hooper.
Yes, of course.
I don't know how much he's signed for. But yeah, Blake Jarwin.
Do you want me to try and find the details?
So what's that? $8 million a season for Blake Jarwin. It's a cheaper deal, and I think Blake Jarwin now needs to be our starting tight end. We had Jason Witten in last season, but I think Jason Witten we've seen he's getting a bit old now. He's not as effective, and Blake Jarwin wasn't given that chance to be our starting tight end. But now as a starting tight end for us, he's shown what he can do. He's a pretty athletic tight end. He likes scoring touchdowns against the Giants. I know that. It
wasn't confirmed, but it was Austin Hooper likely to command $11 million.
Yeah.
Per year, so that'd make him $33 million altogether. What was Blake Jarwin earning? 24.
About 8.
So $8 million per year. It probably works out similar to that sort of style. So thank you everyone for talking there. Thank you for your comments. Please keep them coming in because we are more than willing to keep going. We'll probably be here for another couple hours. Hopefully going through the NFL free agency.
Yeah, and it's only just started and there'll be much more news in the coming days.
Definitely, but sadly it goes on far too late into the night.
It does.
For us to stay here and talk about it anyway. GD, I wouldn't mind tight end Eifert from Cincinnati.
Oh, Tyler Eifert, yeah.
But he's a bit injury prone.
He is.
Thoughts?
I think he will be a good signing, GD, for the Packers. But like you say, he is very injury prone. But
do you think the Bengals keep him? Because
they re-signed him last year to a 1-year deal. I don't think they want to keep him around again. Obviously, you could say they might want weapons for Joe Burrow, but I think he has been injury prone a bit. A change of scenery could help him.
That was my thing,
and
to Joe Burrow.
Maybe he's a very good red zone threat for Aaron Rodgers. He's a very good receiving tight end. So it could be a nice 1-year deal option.
Ooh. Some Vikings news. But we'll talk to Joshua Peterson first. That's the first comment from him. So hello, Joshua. Welcome to the stream. Like, share, subscribe. I'm weird every Thursday. I'm going to do that for every person that comments.
Subscribe to the channel.
Is the Bridgewater to Chicago legit? From what we've seen, yes.
It is apparently legit.
It is apparently legit that there is interest and there is going to be... basically, he's going to be a bear by the end of it, and maybe he's a starter. Vikings give Eric Wilson a second-round tender. Per Mike Florio, the talks are intensified. Well, let me...
It's looking more likely that he's going to be signed by the...
Chicago
Bears. And it will be a good signing for them, to be fair.
So Eric Wilson, the linebacker, is on a second-round tender.
Right.
So basically, what that means is, from what I understand, is if you want him, we get the second-round
pick. Yeah.
We get the second-round pick. Interesting news away from the NFL free agency is that the draft will continue as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
no fans though.
No fans. Yeah, no fans at all. We'll watch it from the comfort of these seats. So more than likely, but sadly, I'd love to do a draft watch along, but it doesn't quite work.
It's on very late.
It is on very late. I think it'd just be us flagging, to be honest. Come round to, but we'd like to see what we can sort out. Hearing $21 million a year for Teddy Bridgewater, that's cheap.
It is cheap for a quarterback, considering the other deals that have been signed. Tannehill got 29.5.
And if he's a starter,
yeah, that is very cheap, and it obviously it's going to be a long-term deal. I heard earlier that it was going to be $21 million. I did say it was a cheap contract, really. But if you look, this Blake Jarwin news, there's more people have been commenting on it. The team really likes him, and Jarwin has been a big-time playmaker in limited targets, which I would agree with. I think it definitely means Jason Witten's out the door, and the hope is that his per-target production can carry on what it was last season. So yeah, team most likely moves on from Jason Witten, and Blake Jarwin is the Cowboys' first free agency re-signing. Which is mad to me that Blake Jarwin... I do like Blake Jarwin, but it's mad that he's been re-signed before Amari Cooper or Dak Prescott.
Exactly. He was arguably, when you came into free agency, I wouldn't say the one you wouldn't mind losing, but he wasn't the one you was bothered about re-signing.
He's that starting tight end, so we would have had question marks there, so it keeps a need away. We've still got Dak Prescott, but we do need to re-sign Amari Cooper quick time. Do you want to put it on the thing, the scroll at the bottom?
Oh, go on, I'll come round and do it. I'd be very surprised if Teddy Bridgewater doesn't win the starting job. I think they fight it out during pre-season. if there's going to be a pre-season, we don't know. I mean, God knows what's going to happen there.
We don't know what's going to happen with the season, do we?
Chichamp is going to be nuts. Thanks for your input, fellas.
Chicago camp. That's
Chicago
what I meant. Chicago training camp is going to be mental.
Chi-champ. I was like, yes, champ, Chi-champ.
I think it's a good signing for the.
Are you a Chicago fan, Joshua? Are you looking out for your Bears, or are you just a fan of another team that you care about?
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater. I'll come and get it. Which one is it?
We've got a couple of news. We've obviously got Blake Jarwin, and then we've got Nick Kwiatkowski as well.
They're not taking DeAndre Hopkins' spot. Sorry.
We're leaving DeAndre there.
Yeah. Go on, tell me what
the
it is.
bottom scroll.
Blake Jarwin re-signs with Cowboys. Obviously, we've got the scroll across the bottom if you want any news.
Nick Kwiatkowski.
Oh, bloody hell. Nick, you're making me work here.
Kwiatkowski. A bit of a breakout season for him for the Bears this season at linebacker. And apparently, Joshua Peterson is a 15-year Bears fan.
Oh, wow.
So he's obviously seen
he's
seen the careers of Jay Cutler and making the NFC Championship game and giving up on his team. And then Caleb Haney coming in, but obviously losing to the Packers.
Is that another one from my division as well? Oh, get out of here, man.
There's rumours as well that the Colts are interested in Philip Rivers. It was mentioned throughout the last couple of weeks that the Colts are interested in Philip Rivers.
I don't think they need to get rid of Jacoby Brissett for him.
No, but they might keep him. He's their only QB on the roster. That's what he's saying.
What, Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah. So they might bring in Philip Rivers as like a bridge QB because...
Maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Maybe.
That is an option.
I think Philip Rivers to the Colts would be a pretty good signing for them because obviously look at their offensive line. It's probably the best in the league if you weigh it up against the Cowboys. It's young and it's Philip Rivers. A good offensive line is what he needs, and they've got the weapons there. They've got Jack Doyle, the tight end. They've got T.Y. Hilton, the wide receiver. So they have weapons there and a decent defense. It's quite a youngish team. I think Philip Rivers to the Colts would be. It's probably his best fit at this point in his career because I don't know where else he ends up, really.
No, it's tough with, like, when you think about older quarterbacks, you've got Brady, who's out there on his own. And then in this free agency, you've got Philip Rivers, Ryan Fitzpatrick. How old's Ryan Fitzpatrick?
He's in his 30s. He's in his late 30s now.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s, so it doesn't leave you with that many options.
Doesn't.
In terms of if you want a veteran quarterback. So I think Teddy's a good shout for. Talks are underway with the range of 21 million for the Chicago Bears.
If that does happen for 21 million, that is.
It's a good. I think it's a good deal. I really do. I think it's a good deal moving forward for just to have a bit of competition. If not starting, I do think he will start.
Yeah.
But if not starting, then it's always an option. Because
Definitely.
Mitchell has been far too inconsistent. We've got another comment from Joshua Peterson there.
Rex Grossman was when I became a fan. Brian Urlacher and Hester era. Oh yeah, so obviously Joshua Peterson will remember when they made the Super Bowl and lost to the Indianapolis Colts. Started with the Devin Hester kick return. Eventually lost to Peyton Manning. But yeah, since then it's been a bit of a tough road for the Bears, you could say. But Brian Urlacher was obviously a very good linebacker back in his day.
Yeah, finished 8-8 this year, didn't they, the Bears?
So, Joshua, what are your opinions on the Bears? Where do you think they need to improve? Do you like your coach Matt Nagy? And what positions would you be looking for in the draft? Obviously, you don't have your first round pick, I believe, this year because he traded it for Khalil Mack as part of the Khalil Mack. So yeah, comment what you think about your Chicago Bears.
I mean, Bleacher Report have put something saying cutting Xavier Rhodes is just the start of inevitable collapse of the Vikings defense.
I disagree because he wasn't very good last year. He wasn't very good last year.
No, but our free agents and all that seem to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
But anyway, what is that?
On the camp?
What is that on the camp? Maybe it was something on your screen. Have you got something on the screen about the Chicago Bears camp? O-line.
Apparently, according to Joe Banner, next big trade announcement coming soon.
Oh. But Joshua Peterson says the Chicago Bears, he wants an improvement in their O-line. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's getting a bit old now. And obviously, if you do sign Teddy, you need to make sure he's protected.
Yeah, give him the best chance to be successsul.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to throw him into the lions almost and just say, well, we're not going to give you any protection, so find the passes yourself. It's a bit hard. Maybe a star wide receiver.
Maybe they've got Allen Robinson and they've just released Taylor Gabriel, I believe. So yeah, wide receiver could be an option, but they have a young Anthony Miller who they drafted last 2 seasons ago. Who's been a good young receiver for him. What do you think about losing your linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski to the Raiders? Do you think it's a big loss? Do you think you'll miss him, or do you think you need to is linebacker now a bigger position of need for you? What do you think about that?
There seems to be a lot of when it comes to Chicago Bears, there seems to be a lot of needs that need sorting. And I think maybe coming into next season, I don't know about next season with the Bears. Not that I think we'll have to see what they do because there's a lot of unanswered questions. But as you say there with the O-line, your receivers, I mean, your defense wasn't great last year. It was all right, but you need to improve on that side of the ball as well. So I think there's a lot of needs. When were the Chicago Bears last? Because I only became a fan this year. I'll be honest, I only became a fan of the NFL this year, so I've only seen this year's Bears. How does that stack up to the last 5-6 years?
Well, not the season just finished, but the season before that, they made the playoffs. They actually won the NFC North with a 12-4 record, made the playoffs. But like I said, lost in the first round to the Eagles and Nick Foles, which is a bit of a shocker, really. And it was at home as well. It was the inevitable double doink game because basically what happened was the Bears had a field goal to win it in the last seconds. The kicker hit the post and then it hit the bar and bounced off, so they call it a double doink.
Oh,
Cody Parkey. So that I would have hated to be in a Bears fan in that moment. But
the double doink.
Yeah, the double doink. But the season before that, I don't think they were ever really contenders. Like I said, they made the NFC Championship game in 2010 with Cutler. But since then, they've never been massive contenders for the Super Bowl. I don't think they've won one since 1985 with William Perry, the Fridge. That's what he was called because it was just as big as a fridge.
Oh, I thought he was about to say it was cool, like a fridge.
That is terrible.
Sorry.
He's put Leno is the biggest reason Mitch receded, but Trevathan was a cheaper signing. Yeah, Leno, your left tackle. I don't know how good his season was, but obviously Mitch Trubisky definitely regressed this season, and Trevathan was a good signing at linebacker. He's getting old, but it's a good linebacker to have on your team.
I mean, if you watch our last video, we rated where we thought Mitch landed in terms of quarterbacks this year. It's fair to say he wasn't very high up on our list.
No,
I don't think so. Anyway, I think he ended up bottom 15 maybe or something like that. It's definitely in the bottom half of quarterbacks.
He definitely struggled this season, didn't Mitch? Didn't he?
He did. Mitch Trubisky did struggle. It's gone a bit quiet on the free agency in the deals being announced.
Bit of an impasse.
To be fair though, we hit a high when
I don't think anyone expected. Well, according to Joe Banner, who actually has got a tick next to his name on Twitter, so he's verified. He said that the next big trade announcement is coming soon, so there could be another big move. I think that...
Is it a free agent or a trade?
Trade announcement coming soon.
Wow.
We'll have to see how that happens, but I think it will start to speed up a bit now. Maybe I was thinking about this. Maybe the whole thing going on with the coronavirus. Maybe it's teams have thought, do we go out and spend a lot of money in free agency? Is the league definitely starting next year? Can we get players for physicals? They might be a bit reluctant to sign players.
Sources, he doesn't quite answer who I don't think this is real.
Go on.
But he does say Houston have interest in free agent Amari Cooper. Now
well,
that would
they've just lost
that would explain that,
Yeah.
That would explain that a lot. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see that one happen.
Well, if they're offering the money, it might do, but there's definitely a void at wide receiver now for the Texans since they traded away DeAndre Hopkins, because I just, once again, I can't get my head around it. Why on earth the Texans have traded that man away?
Yep, Eagle says, per Joe Banner, another big trade coming soon. Yeah, we did mention that there is another big trade coming soon.
Yep, Joe Banner.
We're kind of waiting for it. We're all kind of sat here, the calm before the storm, because I don't know what the trade's going to be. Because when it comes to a trade, it could be anyone in the league.
Could be anybody.
It could be anyone in the league. Whereas free agency,
could be Andy Dalton to the Patriots.
Free agency, we know what's coming. Whereas when it comes to trades, we have no idea. Are they trading for picks? Are they going to trade a player the other way?
Yeah.
And we've got another comment from Ryan Barron that says, Hodgkins over Cooper any day.
Oh, Hopkins is definitely a better wide receiver than Amari Cooper. But Amari Cooper's on the free agent market. And when he's free, teams are going to offer him big contracts because they can't go out and sign DeAndre Hopkins. He's already on a team.
And
but teams can offer big money for Amari Cooper.
They've received some picks and filled the wide receiver gap at the same time.
Yeah.
But I do get your point. Was Nick Kay a trade?
No, it was a sign.
No, I don't. Not from what we've seen, mate. He wasn't.
The Raiders just signed him as a free agent.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
So, decent signing for the Raiders. They definitely needed linebacker help. They were linked to Corey Littleton from the Rams quite a bit. We'll see if they're still signing, but with the signing of Kwiatkowski, it might reduce that a little bit. It might mean they don't want to sign him. He might have wanted too much money, might Corey Littleton. But
I'm excited for this new trade because then we can change the DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona, which is, to be fair,
unless it's like a backup getting traded.
Oh, don't start with me. Well, I think when Bridgewater moves officially, we might be able to change it.
Yeah.
Maneuver some sort of workaround. See what we can put in that place where it says what we're going to call it. The headline.
The headline, because so far the headline move has been that Texans trade with the Cardinals. The Texans getting David Johnson and the Cardinals getting DeAndre Hopkins, plus picks were involved
and
in both ways.
Austin Hooper was before that.
Yeah, Austin Hooper was before that.
Which, I mean, that was the biggest deal we thought might have been one of the biggest deals of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lions trade talks regarding Darius Slay have intensified, and it is believed he will be moved by the end of the day.
Wow.
So that could be
the upcoming trade. I mean, it's definitely been rumoured for a long, long time now that Darius Slay has been looking to get traded from the Lions. But we'll have to see how that story progresses. But that would be a big one because he's a very, very big player and in need of a contract extension, which I don't think the Lions are willing to pay for him.
How much was Nick Kwiatkowski? I'm not saying his second name.
The details have yet to be released. How big the deal was.
Drop me, I'll have a look.
If you have a search on the internet, might have been released, but as of right now, I can't see anything about how big the deal was. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like, share these videos. Obviously, we don't just do NFL on this show. We do football. We have the NFL top. Well,
no.
Go on.
Sorry, Victor for 7 minutes ago says the terms are yet to come.
Yeah,
so we will get that.
We don't know how much the deal's for, but all we know is he is a Las Vegas Raider.
He is a Las Vegas Raider. I'm excited for this new trade coming soon.
See what that trade is. Like Kieran said, there's not much going on at the moment in terms of free agency. It's kind of cooled down a bit, but there is a new trade apparently in the works, and it could be to do with Darius Slay, cornerback from the Lions. We don't want to speculate, but it's looking more than likely that Darius Slay will be traded before the day is over. See what team that is. Oh, but yeah. Just put in the comments, what do you think about the DeAndre Hopkins trade? Who do you think won the trade? I definitely know who won the trade, the Arizona Cardinals. Apparently we've got some more news on Teddy Bridgewater that the Bucs view him as their backup plan to Tom Brady. So that's probably the biggest free agent name on the market, Tom Brady, and we still don't know where he's going. There's not been an indication where he's going to go. Will he resign with the Patriots? Will he go to the Bucs? Birdman Eagles just put the same thing here in the comments. He's put a report is that Bridgewater is the Bucs' backup plan. We'll see what happens there, but as of right now, we think he's going to the Chicago Bears on a $21 million a year annual deal. Any more news, Kieran? No, I can't find anything.
I left the phone in here.
Nothing as of yet.
You robbed my host seat, but I'll let it go. Yeah, I'll let it go for now.
You can come and sit back in it in a
while.
But
you are now fired from the show. It is going to be a one-man show come a Thursday now. But no, there's nothing in terms of any news coming up. We have obviously got the ongoing storyline of the Bridgewater deal, which no one quite knows what's going on. Like, if it's confirmed, if it's not confirmed just yet. We're not quite sure. I'd like to see this big trade deal. You've mentioned there the Buccaneers. I guess that's the backup plan to Tom Brady, which is what we're talking about. But that then leaves Jameis to go somewhere. And I've just seen on Twitter, Teddy Bridgewater plus the Chicago Bears equals a teddy bear. Oh, unbelievable wow. Scenes.
Unbelievable. We've just got news of Austin Hooper's contract. It's 4 years, $44 million, $23 million guaranteed.
Is there some rumours about OBJ? There was rumours that he was going to be traded.
Well, who to though? That's the question.
I've got a... someone did a poll and the two options were Jets and the 49ers for OBJ.
He's put that banner worked for the Eagles and Browns. Odell to Philly, says Birdman Eagles. Well, if you got Odell Beckham, the former Giant, he returned to the NFC East. Would you like Odell on your team?
I'm just saying that 3 comments have just come in about Odell Beckham Jr. Oh, well, the Browns. Yeah.
Oh, there's there's comments flying in now about Odell Beckham Jr. Ryan's put, do you think the Browns might trade Beckham? I mean, maybe, but you need to find a team that's going to take on that big salary. And
Jay Glazer says another trade's coming. Do you think it's OBJ?
If Jay Glazer says another trade is coming, it is going to happen because Jay Glazer is a very, very reliable source.
Do you think it's OBJ? I'm beginning to think it might be OBJ.
It might be. It might be. This is going to be huge if it is. Is
he coming to the Dallas Cowboys because you're getting rid of Amari Cooper?
You know what? He's now out of the anything in free agency is now out of the window. Could be anything.
OBJ is one of the biggest names because he's a very diva-ish player.
He is. He needs to find that right spot now, really, doesn't he? He's getting.
I think
he's been in the league a few years now.
He's a big ego in a team full of big egos, which is becoming a problem.
Louis put, what do you think of the Browns? Best receiving corps got better. Are they overrated? Is Baker the problem? As a big Odell fan, I can't understand why they aren't good.
I'm an Eagles fan and I don't want Odell Beckham Jr., says NGT Shogun. What was Louis' question?
Louis put, he's put that the Browns obviously got good receiving corps. Are they overrated? Is Baker the actual problem? And he's put, obviously Louis is a big Odell fan. He can't understand why they aren't that good.
I personally think it's to do with ego.
Joshua Peterson-Cooper is still on the market available as a free agent.
Yeah, I think it's to do with ego, to be honest with you. I do believe. I think Odell's got the talent. Baker hasn't proven his talent just yet, but wasn't he their first overall pick?
Baker Mayfield was the first overall pick, yeah.
Exactly.
I think a big thing for the Browns is definitely the coaching. I don't think he ever moulded well with Freddie Kitchens. Now he's out the door.
Well, they've got Kevin Stefanski now.
Yeah, a young offensive mind who Baker might gel with better. But I agree that with all the talent they've got, why are they not as good? Why are they 6-10? Could be due to Eagles, maybe?
Too many big fish in a small pond. That would be my personal, what
possibly.
I'd put it down to. But NGT Shogun says Odell is overrated and overpaid. Overpaid, probably. Was he the highest wide receiver? Of course he was.
He's the highest wide receiver in terms of guaranteed money because I think it was when either Julio Jones or Michael Thomas signed their contracts and got guaranteed money. Odell kicked up a fuss and said, "I want the highest guaranteed money in the league again."
Cooper to the Bears, maybe. I'm not sure about the Bears. It's a possible option for Joshua there. NGT says the Brown needs an O-line. That's true. The Browns need a lot because going forward, they've got a new coach, so they've got new ideas. Maybe he does need an O-line, but maybe he needs some certain players in positions like what type of defense he wants to play. Maybe a 4-3 defense if that's what he wants to go with. I don't know.
Wow. Is this true? Is Odell been traded to the Eagles? I think he might have just been traded to the Eagles.
Odell Beckham Jr. to the Philadelphia Eagles for Malcolm Jenkins and a 4th-round pick.
Don't quote me on that.
Prediction not true.
That's just what Birdman says. Is it a prediction?
It's a prediction, right? Okay, because
right.
I'll tell you what. I was about to run to the Twitter machine.
I was going to say Malcolm Jenkins. Apparently, they still need to pick up his option. I don't know if he's still an Eagles player. They need to pick up his option to make him an Eagles player again. That's what I think anyway. But Malcolm Jenkins in a 4th. I don't think the Browns would take that because I think Malcolm Jenkins is an old safety. I think Odell's definitely got higher trade value than a 4th-round pick.
That'd be insane. Malcolm, what do you think about Malcolm Jenkins? But then again, we saw DeAndre Hopkins an hour ago go for a 2nd-round,
a bag of chips and a can of Coke. Can of Coke. Yeah.
Can of Coke. No, to be honest, as we've just said, nothing is off the cards in terms of who can sign for what. I mean, if OBJ goes, that's 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, as much as we say he's overrated. 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. Amari's on the market. The draft coming up has got...
sign Amari Cooper, please? I'm starting to get worried. I really am.
These 3 free agents, not 3 free agents, 3 wide receivers in the draft. Henry Ruggs, CD Lamb, Jerry Jeudy. What a wide receiver class.
If you need weapons...
this is the year.
This is the year to get them.
This is the year indeed. I can't believe what we've been going on about. Nothing in terms of... I've not seen anything on Jay Glazer's Twitter just yet.
No, but Jay Glazer will be... there's 9 seconds ago by Ian Rappaport. I think I reported this one earlier. The Dolphins are expected to sign former Bills first-round pass rusher Shaq Lawson, sources say. He had 6.5 sacks last year and will help Miami chase the quarterback because he's a defensive end. So, yeah, Miami Dolphins have signed
and just
Shaq
Birdman's
Lawson.
Put it in.
Just put it in
right now. Just put it in. You're on it together. Out. Jump to...
Yeah, I can put it round. So, decent signing for the Dolphins. They need pass rushing help. I thought they'd go get Yannick Ngakoue in a trade. Maybe they still do, but they have just signed Shaq Lawson, former first-round pick, formerly of the Bills. to I think it was a 3-year deal. Yep.
There we go. We'll add that to the roll at the bottom. If you are new, I'm just gonna tell everyone to like, share, subscribe, get involved in the chat. NGT Shogun, Eagles need to go for cornerbacks. I'm in free agency and draft a wide receiver. Xavier Rhodes is available if you want him. I'm just saying.
Apparently, the Eagles might be interested in Byron Jones, maybe, or Chris Harris Jr. Chris Harris Jr. We haven't heard a lot of news on recently, but he was linked with a lot of teams earlier. There is a big trade going down actually, and it's Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, Atlanta.
The tight end from the Ravens is going to the Atlanta.
Do I need to come around?
Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons get Hayden Hurst and the Ravens 2024 round pick. In return, Baltimore gets the Falcons 2022 round pick and the Falcons 2025 round pick. So Atlanta get a tight end replacement for Austin Hooper, who they lost to the Browns earlier today. Yeah. And they give up the swap picks, basically.
We did have a Baltimore fan that was in here earlier. What do you think of that trade, seeing as you've lost Hayden Hurst? I've got to come round again.
Another player to add.
I'm back around again. It's not breaking news, but we'll put him in there. Hayden Hurst to Atlanta. I'll add the Falcons. Atlanta Falcons. There you go. That's true, isn't it?
It is true.
NGT Shogun, Xavier Rhodes. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Best Pro Bowler.
I love the emoji as well. That's his instant reaction is him just throwing up when he thinks about Xavier Rhodes.
He's a Pro Bowler.
When he was the All-Pro player, Vikings fans said roads were closed. I think now it's fair to say roads are very much open in Minnesota.
Never know. Roads may be under construction. You never know. He could be better next year. But, I was giving you an option, NGT Shogun. Do you know what I mean? They got Mark Andrews, so they're good.
Mark Andrews is a good young tight end. I think he was a 3rd-round pick from Oklahoma. He's been a good... He's probably been... I think they drafted Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews in the same draft, and the 3rd-round picks panned out better than the 1st-round pick.
Yeah, and it fills Falcons' need for a tight end because they lost Austin Hooper. So they had to look around. And, I mean, what's the... so they get the Falcons get Hurst, and they give up a 4th round.
Yeah.
And in return, they get a 2nd round. Is that in 2021?
I think I might be. I think it might be. I'll get the trade details back up here. But yeah, it says here there's some more NFL trade rumours that the Browns are very interested in Case Keenum as their backup.
Oh, right, okay. So does that take away the Teddy Bridgewater, do you think?
Possibly. Well, no, it's the Browns.
Oh, it's the Browns, yeah. Bears
not
we're
Bears.
talking about, aren't we, Bears?
But the Ravens are trading tight end Hayden Hurst and a 4th rounder to the Falcons for a 2nd rounder and a 5th rounder.
I mean, a 2nd round pick, you can't moan at that.
I think the Ravens are doing pretty well there to get a 2nd round pick for Hayden Hurst because he wasn't starting. They had Mark Andrews, so that's a pretty good signing.
Yeah, the Falcons. Yeah, that's definitely. Ravens have been really clever with the way they've been
had a
run.
brilliant off-season so far, the Ravens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting Calais Campbell and all they had to do was trade. Was it a 4th round pick?
5th round pick, which is just
5th
crazy.
round pick and a
They've
kick.
tagged Mark Judon, their linebacker.
So they get to keep him for another
They've
year.
got picks for a guy that won't even their starting tight end. So I think the Ravens have done pretty well this off-season.
Oh, definitely. They've been a very well-run franchise.
Yeah.
Louis, that Falcons-Ravens one had better not be the big trade. Talk about an anti-class. You're not wrong, actually.
You're not wrong.
That
but
could,
did Jay Glazer report that one? Because I don't think he...
I didn't see it when I was on I was on Twitter. But I hope that's not the big trade. You are right, Louis. I was expecting OBJ. I was expecting Darius Slay.
I think Darius Slay will be traded at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've got to wait. We'll see with Hayden Hurst. Maybe that is the big one, but I hope not.
I'm just gonna have a look on Jay Glazer's Twitter now, see if he's commented on it. Because if he has, that might be the big trade that they were talking about. It's not a very big trade at all, though, is it?
No, that's what I was thinking. I thought if he's going to go out here and tell me there's a big trade going
Jay
on,
Glazer's not commenting on it.
Oh, maybe
So
we wait.
There might be a bigger one brewing.
We wait for the big
trade might be in the works.
Definitely. Well, you look at the Falcons offense.
Someone's put here, Yaya Dubin. He's put the Ravens basically traded Hayden Hurst and a 4th round pick for Calais Campbell and a 2nd round pick. That's a big dub, if you ask me.
That is
big win.
I tell you what, if Jameis was on that team, he'd be eating them W's. But what do you think of the Atlanta Falcons offense now? Because you've got Matt Ryan, Hayden Hurst, Julio Jones. What do you think? Falcons maybe defense needs improving.
Defense needs improving, and a couple of their pass rushers are free agents, I think. But I think the Falcons, they've got Hayden Hurst, but there's no doubt they've got worse at tight end because they've lost Austin Hooper. So they've got the replacement in with Hayden Hurst, but in my opinion, Austin Hooper to Hayden Hurst is a downgrade. I think they've got that. They have to give up a second round pick as well for Hayden Hurst. So the Ravens, that in my opinion, so far they've been the biggest winners in free agency. The Ravens, just the deals
definitely. So for what they've received in free agency, it's absolutely brilliant, like masterful way to run your franchise.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Austin Hooper's contract is 4 years.
Oh, I mentioned it earlier.
$44 million with $23 million guaranteed.
So what's that? $11 million a year.
It is. They've gone for people of very similar age with Austin Hooper.
They have.
And Hayden Hurst. So it does seem like they're just going to, not like for like, because Austin Hooper's the better player.
A lot of guaranteed money in that Austin Hooper contract as well.
There is $23 million, was it? Guaranteed, or?
I think it was something like that.
I think it might be $23 million guaranteed.
Yeah, but there's still some massive names on the free agency market that teams can sign up. Obviously, we've still got Tom Brady, Jadeveon Clowney, Amari Cooper, Chris Harris.
Well, we expect him to go by today because the longer it goes, the worse the free agents get. I don't expect Tom Brady to be on the market this time tomorrow.
Maybe, but Tom Brady did say he's going to take his time in his decision, which might hold the market up a little bit. We'll have to see with that one.
Yeah, because I guess it depends. Like if quarterbacks want to wait till see where, well, teams might run out of patience.
Might do.
I doubt teams that desperately need it. Like I don't think the Bucs desperately need him. Well, maybe he does because I know Jameis wasn't.
I don't think they desperately need. They need a new They need a new quarterback, but do they desperately need Tom Brady? Is the question? Do they go and look at someone else in the draft?
I think it's the perfect fit though.
Tom Brady.
And I love Jameis.
The offensive line's a bit underwhelming. I'm not going to lie for the Bucs.
But he's got the weapons.
He does have the weapons.
But he's going to get hit. And does he want to get hit? No.
Yeah, that's another question. That's why I thought, look, if you're looking on paper, the best fit for Tom Brady is probably the Patriots because he's been there so long. The coach knows him. The Dallas Cowboys, if he came to the Cowboys, he'd have Ezekiel Elliott, he'd have the best offensive line in the league, weapons, they'd probably re-sign Amari Cooper. That's not going to happen now because we've tagged Dak Prescott, so that's out the window.
Ryan Barron says, I thought the Patriots wanted a decision early from Brady. Sadly, I don't think it's down to them.
I'm going to say, yeah, they'll want a decision early because they want to get their free agency done and dusted and sign them players up, and they want to know where Brady's going so they can actually know where to spend the money, but Tom Brady's going to take as much time as he wants, I'm afraid.
Joshua Peterson, he has been franchise tagged.
Yeah.
So he is going to be with the Cowboys for another year on the average quarterback salary, which is $33 million.
Joshua, they do also have until July 15th to work out a long-term deal.
I think if you lose Amari Cooper, he's getting a long-term deal.
Well, I mean, possibly, but we've not been able to talk this long-term deal. We've been talking for
long-term. No, but if you lose Amari Cooper, you don't have to worry about that cap space.
True, but we couldn't afford them both and still have $20 million left. So that's what baffles me about the Cowboys. They've got $72 million in cap room. They can sign Dak to $36 million a year. They can sign Cooper to $20 million a year. Still have money left over. They've just re-signed Blake Jarwin. You can do some cuts here and there and create the cap room. You can afford both of them, but if the Cowboys don't agree on that long-term deal, if the July 15th deadline passes, Dak Prescott will play on that franchise tag and he will become a free agent again next season.
NGT Shogun. If Tom Brady leaves the Pats and plays terrible, his legacy is ruined because everyone will think Belichick made him. I think Belichick did make him the quarterback he is today. I don't think he made...
I don't think the whole blame can just go on the system, though. I think you've got to look at Tom Brady. What is he, 42 now?
Yeah.
You could say age is a factor because even under Belichick's system last season, we saw a decrease in his play. Maybe his age is just kicking in.
I mean,
a lot of people were saying it's kind of like Michael Jordan signing for the Wizards. That's like Tom Brady signing for a new team. You know, the GOAT is coming to the end of his career. Does he go out with a whimper or does he go out winning a championship?
Look at Eli. He had a really bad season last year.
Yeah, he did.
But we all think about the Super Bowl rings and stuff like that. It's interesting because you do say, I think Belichick and Brady works well together in terms of what they created as an offensive machine.
Yeah.
But I am intrigued to see where Brady... I don't think it will ruin his legacy, but it will add question marks. I don't want to say that, actually, because he'll still be the greatest of all time. He'll still be the GOAT.
Yeah, he'll still be the GOAT. I mean, the guy's won, 6 rings, which is just...
mental. Exactly. And could he have done it with another coach? Probably not.
They're just the perfect fit, are they, really? Bill and Tom.
Ryan Barron, Eli Manning. He's got the same reaction as Xavier Rhodes. Eli Manning. I know, but he's got
Who do you support again, Ryan? I forgot. Is he a Patriots fan? He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the rings.
There's a reason why you don't like Eli Manning, because he beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls.
He's got the rings, man. He's got the rings.
So Tom Brady's 0-2 against Eli Manning in Super Bowls. Just remember that one.
So, I mean...
Eli Manning.
I'm not going to talk about Eli Manning anymore. That's enough now. He's retired, so he's fine.
He had a good run, did Eli, didn't he?
It's
come to an end.
Philip Rivers is the same age as Eli Manning, I think, or a year younger.
I think he's similar age.
But he's sticking around.
Well, they came into the league in the same draft.
He's sticking around, Philip Rivers.
What's that last payday, didn't he?
Yeah, but where?
I don't know. I know Eli didn't want to leave the Giants, really wanted to stay a Giant, whereas Philip Rivers is obviously open to moving teams.
Yeah, but he's had so many years at the Chargers now. And he hasn't won a Super Bowl, has he?
No, he's never been able to get past Tom Brady.
Which not many people can. What's the best Chargers finish then under Philip Rivers? Because he's been there for, is it 15 years?
I think they were 13-3 one year when they had LaDainian Tomlinson at running back. That was like 2007, I think. They've never... I don't remember him making a conference game or a Super Bowl. I don't remember him doing that.
Yeah.
He has been a good quarterback, though, Philip Rivers. He's been a stable quarterback for a long time.
Yeah, I guess so. But we'll get back to trying to look for this free agent signing that we were waiting eagerly for.
The big trade.
Yeah, the big trade.
Where is it?
Jay Glazer has not informed me of a free trade, and neither has Eagles, because Eagles usually comes back.
I'm starting to think that Hayden Hurst might be the big trade that everyone was talking about, even though it's not a big trade, is it? Let's be honest.
I hope not.
Here.
Some people say, if you're a Vikings fan, do not cheer Teddy Bridgewater at the Bears. I won't be cheering him on, but I wasn't there when Teddy Bridgewater was a Viking, so I don't know.
Teddy Bridgewater, he tore his ACL in practice one year, just on a drop back getting ready to pass. Tore his ACL, and I don't think he'll get a snap again. The Vikings,
or breeze through it with our quick and easy online mortgage application.
Out there on the free agency market.
See what's possible
Tom Brady,
at Santander.
Amari Cooper, Jadeveon Clowney, Byron Jones is still out there. We don't know where he's going to go. Drew Brees, believe it or not, is still a free agent. Corey Littleton, the linebacker
Drew Brees.
from the Rams, is still out there. Yeah, Drew Brees. Jack Conklin, offensive tackle from the Titans, very good offense, probably the best tackle.
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah.
Philip Rivers, as I mentioned, he's still on the market. Old quarterback, but we'll see where he ends up. Chris Harris Jr., probably behind Byron Jones, the second best cornerback on the market. Been a lockdown corner now for many years in Denver, so he's going to be a lucrative free agent. Your boy Jameis. Where do you think he's going to end up, Jameis? Do you still not know?
I've got no idea. I'm hoping back at the Buccaneers, but I think it all depends on
Tom Brady.
Where Brady ends up. Yeah.
Dante Fowler's also a free agent. The edge rusher from the Rams acquired from Jacksonville. Pretty good edge rusher in my opinion, and whatever team gets him is getting a pretty good player. DJ Reader, defensive tackle. I think he's a player that coming into the free agent market, some teams are going to offer him a big contract because of the lack of defensive tackles in this free agent market. I mean, obviously there's Chris Jones, but he got tagged by the Chiefs. There's no way the Chiefs were letting him walk.
Apparently that Hayden Hurst trade isn't the deal referring to.
Who's put that?
Well, I don't think it's real. It's 49ers Sports Talk. But there's one from Dirk Cousins, which is clearly not a real account, but I expect OBJ to go to New England via a trade in an effort by Kraft to lure Brady and show that the team is committed to improving their roster.
You know what? It's not out the window.
It's not. Nothing's out the window.
He's been linked to the Patriots for ages. Ryan's commented, how much do you think Conklin is worth? Well, you look at Costanzo, got a new deal the other day, about 16 million annually. I think Conklin earns around the same. He's still a youngish tackle. He was a high pick by the Titans. Some team's going to give him a lot of money. That's how free agency is. Some team will give a player.
Do you think he'll go up to 20 million or? No,
I can't see it. 20 million is too expensive.
He shouldn't be this. He shouldn't be worth more than Nick Costanzo.
Well, it's just a market, isn't it? If a team's willing, a team, you're worth how much a team's willing to pay for you. If a team's willing to pay a lot of money for you, you take it and run, don't you?
Of course. He's not going to go, do you know what? I think you're overpaying me, actually. I'm not as good as you think. No, I completely agree.
But I don't think he ends up back with Tennessee. I think he signs with another team.
Ryan Barron puts, yes, please happen. I think he likes the idea of that.
Odell to the Pats.
Really?
Well, they need wide receivers. Who's the best wide receiver? Julian Edelman, who's getting old. Since they lost Gronk, Brady's lost that number one target.
They don't have any weapons.
They've got N'Keal Harry, good young rookie, maybe. He got injured quite a bit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Brady didn't know not Brady didn't know, but Brady didn't want to throw to all these rookies. The only guy he kept throwing to was Julian Edelman because it's the only one he knew.
He's the only one he trusted.
Yeah, literally.
Obviously, the Patriots re-signed Devin McCourty, their safety, last night to a 2-year deal. I think he's about 32 now, so he might be finishing his career in New England. What do you think of that, Ryan? Are you happy with the re-signing of Devin McCourty? Siobhan Hargrave, defensive tackle, recently of the Steelers, is also a free agent. He's similar to DJ Reader. I think he's another player who's going to get quite a bit of money from somebody. We'll just see who that team is. Jason Pierre-Paul, edge rusher, might be getting on now in his career. I don't think a team's going to pay him a lot of money. And he returned from a serious neck injury that many people didn't think he would return from. Obviously, we know Austin Hooper's gone to the Browns in a big contract.
He has, yeah.
Melvin Gordon. Where do you think Melvin Gordon? I've not heard his name a lot today.
No. But the Cardinals lost Johnson.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cardinals.
Julian Edelman is the only good receiver and we don't have a tight end. Yeah, I can't name one tight end on the Patriots roster.
To be honest, I can only name Edelman as your offensive weapons. Honest to God, and I don't mean that like
they've got all right running backs. They've got Sonny Michel, James White, some of those like versatile running backs. But I do agree. I think you need that marquee offensive weapon. You know, if Brady returns to help him or your new quarterback. We'll see who that is. But yeah, Melvin Gordon, I think he could end up somewhere like the Dolphins. I've always thought the Dolphins will be interested in him. And as far as I'm concerned, I think that's the only team I've seen linked to Melvin Gordon.
No, there's not been many. But again, he waited out for a contract last year, didn't he? And it backfired. He might do the same again. Steelers' G. Raymond Foster has announced his retirement.
Raymond Foster?
Yeah. Oh. G, by the way, guard.
Yeah. Offensive guard.
Yeah. I just went... Steelers G. My G. Raymond. No, but Raymond Foster. Julian Edelman is the only good receiver.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Robbie Anderson could be a target for the Patriots, the wide receiver from the Jets. Pretty good wide receiver. Could be a decent signing for you. Everson Griffin as well. He's another edge defender that's on the market. I don't know where he's going to end up. It's looking likely he might not return to Minnesota.
He said he would love to. I remember do you remember when that rumour came out that he was willing to take a pay cut?
Yeah.
For to stay with the Vikings, which I'd love to see because there was also we'd like Kirk to take a club-friendly deal, so
which he did, to be fair.
Which he did, yeah, he did, and so that's good news for us. Maybe we can re-sign Everson. I don't know. I'm not sure. We are losing a lot of players on defense. We've lost Joseph. We lost Rhodes. We've got Harris. But we'll lose... No, we didn't. We franchise-tagged Harris.
Yeah, he did. Franchise-tagged Anthony Harris. Jaron Curse might be leaving the safety.
Yeah, and we re-signed, obviously, Kirk.
So Everson Griffin, we'll see where he ends up. James Bradbury, cornerback of the Panthers. He was linked to the Redskins. Apart from that, I've not seen a lot about him. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, James Bradbury is more interested in joining the Redskins, and the Redskins are than signing him, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but he obviously wants to go play for his old coach, Ron Rivera, who just got hired as the new head coach in Washington. Robert Quinn of my Dallas Cowboys, defensive end. I would love to bring him back. He had 11.5 sacks last season. I think he'd be a great re-signing because when you look at our defensive line, if we lose Robert Quinn, we need to get more depth in that position.
Benjamin Albright, we got a tick, so must be official.
What's he put?
Rumours this is going to be a day where more than one wide receiver moves.
Oh dear. So
Hopkins is gone, and the first comment is, "Come on home, Stephon Diggs."
Come on home, Stephon Diggs. Let me look at this.
Literally, that's the first comment I saw.
Rumours are... I wasn't thinking about Stephon Diggs. I was thinking about Barry Cooper.
I'll be honest. I was thinking OBJ.
Robbie Anderson, maybe. He could be on the move. Manuel Sanders.
Oh, yeah. No one's talked about
Manuel
Sanders
could end up somewhere. Shelby Harris. But yeah, there's still a lot of very good players. Jimmy Ward, safety for the 49ers, had a good season. See where he ends up. I think the 49ers might look to re-sign him. Logan Ryan and Kendall Fuller, two really good cornerbacks. Kendall Fuller especially had a really good Super Bowl. Did a very, very good job on the 49ers receivers, and he was a brilliant trade for them since they got him from the Redskins. Clinton Dix, safety.
Clinton Dix.
Yeah,
forgot about him.
He's been overlooked a bit. I think he signed a 1-year deal with the Bears last season. I mean, what did you think of Joshua, if you're still in the chat, what do you think of Clinton Dix for the Bears? Would you like to keep him?
Per Tom Pelissero, the Broncos will not tender quarterback Brandon Allen. Now he can sign anywhere.
Right.
So there's not going to be a first round, third round tender.
He's just free
on Brandon Allen. You can go get him if you want Brandon Allen.
I've got a comment from NGT Shogun. Diggs is also overrated. What are your comments on that, Kieran? What you got to say about that?
Miracle. That's it. Gonna leave it there.
Minneapolis Miracle.
That's it. No, honestly, it's his personality that's the issue.
Yeah.
And you always question whether sometimes he's taking the mick or sometimes he's serious. You can never tell with Stephon Diggs, to be honest with you. But good route runner.
Yeah.
But I did see the other day, he struggles with that physicality, like he can get muscled out of ball, and I understand that, whereas Adam Thielen won't because he's bigger.
He's a bit bigger.
Yeah, but he's not as good a route runner as Diggs. So I'd like to see, if we did trade him, I'd like it to be the right deal. I don't want to trade with the Ravens because they've given a 6th round and a bloody special teams player, and we'd have to deal with it.
Yeah, the players don't seem to be getting a lot of value nowadays in the NFL. They seem to be getting traded for later round picks.
Yeah.
As seen with the trades earlier on today. I mean, who would have thought that you would have been able to get DeAndre Hopkins for a 2nd round pick and give away a running back that's not even your starter? Joshua Pearson, he was solid but expensive. I think he only signed a 1-year deal, so he might have been on that quite expensive 1-year deal.
Who's that?
Clinton Dix. He's now a free agent again, but I don't think he'll demand a lot of money. So I think
he's a solid player.
He's a good safety, definitely. He's a good ball hawk. I know he played for the Packers for quite a while. Got traded to the Redskins, didn't do a lot there. Signed with the Bears, had a decent season there. So yeah, we'll see where he ends up. But he's definitely an intriguing.
We're full on safeties, but I wouldn't mind. I think Clinton Dix is a solid player.
He is a good player, very good player. Linville Joseph, another player on the free agent market, a former Vikings player. Tony Jefferson, right, this guy. Safety for the Ravens, they released him. He got
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner. Para sa nanuot naman siya ng inodoro, inaalis ang dumi at patay ang 99.9% of germs. Pati ang namuong lime scale, isang mineral na galing sa tubig na di kayang tanggalin ng bleach. Clean less, live more.
S.C. Johnson.
A very good leader and a very like a bargain safety because he's very good in the box. And when the Ravens signed him, he was one of the top safeties in the league. So I think Tony Jefferson's getting looked on a bit, maybe because of his age, but he could be a pretty good signing. Case Keenum is a free agent, by the way.
He is, yeah.
I didn't realise, but he's a free agent. But yeah, there's still
miracle. No, I'm just going to keep mentioning it now. Every player that was on that pitch, miracle. I'll be honest, I'm holding on to it.
You might as well. Because there's no football till September, and it might be even a bit later.
I know. Just gonna have to start.
Which is a big shame.
No, it is. But
it's a massive shame.
We have got some free agency now. Still, we'll probably. I think we'll give it another hour and 13 minutes. Do you think?
Yeah, I can do it to about 8ish if you want.
Yeah.
See if there's any more deals at break.
Yeah, I can't count, can I? 13. Yeah, an hour and 13 minutes. We'll probably give it before we tap out for the night. But thanks everyone for joining us so far. We will still go. I kind of want this headline deal to go through now. This big headline wide receiver move. Now I'm beginning to believe it's a wide receiver, unless it's a quarterback. Because they are big.
Hopefully something happens and checks it.
They are big news.
We've not had a big sign for a while.
Yeah, but if you've been in the stream, thanks for some of the people. I know NGT's been in there. Oh, Idris Elba's got coronavirus.
Dear me.
Joshua's been in here. Ryan's been in here. We had Rowan obviously earlier in the stream as well.
Been in here.
If you're new, please do subscribe. Share it.
Birdman Eagles was in here.
Yeah,
for a while.
Louis as well, your friend. We appreciate everything. And just like, share, give us any of your thoughts. Opinions.
Check out the other videos on the channel. We don't just do NFL, we do a lot of other stuff. Wrestling,
we do indeed.
Football, but obviously there's no sport going on at the moment because of the coronavirus outbreak. So NFL is all we have to talk about really. So we've been
We're
pretty
just
excited
hog
for this
up
game.
The whole show.
Yeah.
Every day it's going to be us.
I've just seen this post from Adam Schefter actually. And it's about
no.
We have some developing news here.
Stephon Diggs has tweeted, "It's time for a new beginning."
So Stephon Diggs has just tweeted, "It is time for a new beginnings" on his Twitter. Possibly mentioning he's joining a new team. Where he ends up, we do not know, but we'll have the news straight away for you here on the Sports Corner.
He videoed himself working out in a Cardinals uniform last week. They couldn't, could they?
No way. If just got DeAndre Hopkins.
If they have Diggs and Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald as 3 wide receivers, that's unbelievable stuff from the Cardinals.
That is what you call an offense right there. But yeah, I've seen this post from Adam Schefter. Franchise tag roundup. These are all the players that have been franchise tagged today. well, not today, but all the players that have been tagged up to the deadline. So we've got Dak Prescott's received the exclusive franchise tag, AJ Green, Derrick Henry, Chris Jones, Shaq Barrett, Leonard Williams, Yannick Ngakoue, Hunter Henry, Matthew Judon, Bud Dupree, Brandon Scherf, Justin Simmons, and Anthony Harris have all received the franchise tag. So some very, very big names that were due to hit the market have now been stopped from hitting the market by receiving the franchise tag from their current clubs. But yeah, Kieran, just read some of that breaking news right there. Stephon Diggs saying that it's time for some new beginnings.
He did. I don't know what to think of that. Because he is that type of player. You know what I mean?
Wow. It's time for a new beginning. So he's definitely leaving. Where it is,
he leaving though?
Don't know.
Is he leaving?
Well, why would he post that?
Because it's Stephon Diggs. Because that is literally my reasoning.
Because it's Stephon Diggs. I like that.
That is the only reason I can think of.
So yeah, Stephon Diggs putting some on his Twitter could possibly be traded. Someone's put here that NGT Shogun has put that look at Diggs, he's a baby.
I mean, you're not wrong, like in terms of personality, but
if I was a Minnesota Vikings fan like you are, or someone that works the Vikings, I'd be very annoyed with Stephon Diggs because why he's got to come on social media and make these comments and try and break news.
Why has he got to fuel the fire?
Exactly. Well, there's no need for it. It's just kind of like he's a bit salty. He might be getting traded, but whoever does get Stephon Diggs is getting a very good player on a very, very team-friendly contract because he's not on a big contract and he's locked up for the next 3 or 4 years on a nice deal. But
we've got to get the right deal for him.
You need to get something back.
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner. Para sa nanuot naman siya ng inodoro, inaalis ang dumi at patay ang 99.9% of germs. Pati ang namuong lime scale, isang mineral na galing sa tubig na di kayang tanggalin ng bleach. Clean less, live more.
S.C. Johnson.
To Dallas, I'm alright with that.
But, I didn't even know Stephon was going to be a problem. But he just does that and he creates a problem. That's my thing. He creates a problem.
He loves the smoke, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves the clout.
Joshua's put Nagy, who is the Chicago Bears head coach, has put bringing in a bunch of experienced coaches lightens up his first head coaching gig. If it works, he'll stay. If they fire him at the end of the season,
that's if it doesn't work.
He's
brought in a lot of experienced coaches to help him look better. Basically, is kind of what I'm getting from that. Diggs needs Nagy's discipline. Take him. OBJ, Michael Thomas and Diggs are always crying about something. Michael Thomas I've not seen most of. Is he? I've not seen much of Michael. He said OBJ, Michael Thomas and Diggs are always crying. I haven't seen it much from Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas was crying a lot about the last year's NFC Championship game when they got robbed, because they did get robbed. It was a blatant missed call when they lost to the Rams, and he was crying a lot about it. He was saying... he was putting out loads of cryptic tweets about how bad the NFL officiating is and all that, and he was crying about it. But compared to Diggs and OBJ, I don't think Thomas has those... well, in my opinion, all three of them are diva wide receivers.
Yeah.
They are all diva wide receivers. That's why...
I think Michael Thomas is the least.
Yeah, definitely. But Diggs... if I was a Vikings fan, that would rub me the wrong way, because I would not be happy with him sending that tweet out.
No.
But I am very interested to see where he ends up.
I'm interested. Yeah, it's one of them. He just does. He didn't have to do this, but he's done it anyway.
But
and
he did. You know why I did it? Because it's Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I'm interested to see what's going on in terms of, like, you look at the wide receivers might dominate today.
Right, Eric Poe, is that a prediction or is that an actual trade that's just gone down? Diggs to Carolina.
Carolina Panthers? For a 39th KK?
Right, no. KK Short's a defensive lineman, and he means the 39th overall pick.
39th overall pick and a future 4th round pick. I don't think the future 4th round pick makes that worth it. But from what I've seen on draft day today, you might not... Diggs to Carolina.
Well, you get K1 Short back, a defensive lineman who's a pretty good DT. But I think that's just a prediction. It's not an actual trade that's gone down. Wow. Breaking news from Mike Garafolo, the Bears fan. Joshua, there's breaking news on Teddy Bridgewater, and that is not expecting Teddy Bridgewater to land with the Bears. Other QB options in play, according to Mike Garafolo of NFL Network.
Oh, Adam Schefter has come out and said these are teams monitoring Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs, but nothing has been active so far.
Right.
So there's nothing active on Stephon Diggs as of now.
Even though he's not been traded yet, if I've seen that tweet, I don't want him back.
Exactly.
I don't want him back.
But hi Eric, welcome to the stream, Eric. Make sure you subscribe if you'd like to, and welcome to the stream.
Do you want to get rid of this Teddy Bridgewater thing on the scroll because he's not signing with the Bears, but we've got it down here.
I'll come remove it. Do I get my seat back? Teddy Bridgewater.
As sad as this sounds, Diggs to Philly, Dallas or Las Vegas.
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner. Para sa nanuot naman siya ng inodoro, inaalis ang dumi at patay ang 99.9% of germs. Pati ang namuong lime scale, isang mineral na galing sa tubig na di kayang tanggalin ng bleach. Clean less, live more. S.C. Johnson.
He's a good wide receiver, but just needs to stop putting stuff out on Twitter.
Take NFL players off Twitter. That's the rules for the future.
And we're gonna let Kieren sit down and control the Twitter now for a bit. I've been on it for a while, so we're gonna let Kieren do this last hour or so as we see what players, where they sign. So stick around.
We can sign up Twitter on there if you want to.
Subscribe, like on this one, yeah.
Yeah, we'll sign up Twitter. I'll scroll through it. We'll get Twitter up on the big main screen. Willie's going to be staying with us. Do not worry about that. We're just switching positions. We've done shifts. I'll take the night shift.
Oh, what on earth is going on with this chair?
It's a bit low. Sorry. Twitter. Let me get on Twitter.
Twitter?
No, that...
You've gone on the Twitter's actual Twitter page.
I have gone on the actual Twitter page. I will go and sort out with... we might have to sort out with Josh. We should have got the Twitter up beforehand, but we didn't. So, we'll talk about Super Duper Amari Cooper, still on the market. Jadeveon Clowney, still on the market. Tannehill's not. Byron Jones, still on the market.
Still some massive players. I'm really intrigued to see where these players sign because, Byron Jones, we were saying as soon as free agency opens, this guy's gone, but still on the market.
He's still. This is the thing. As soon as we expected players to have gone.
Do you want to sign on my Twitter? I don't like that.
On this one.
On whichever
one? If you sign it up on this one, we're fine with that. Right, we're switching for 2 seconds. No, signing in on this one here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because we're going to get Twitter up at the same time, so we can basically cover. Go on, you're going to have to avoid the microphone, but we're going to try and cover all the news as it comes in, which is going to be difficult. But I tell you, Eagle, who we had before, was very helpful. So I'd like to thank him for that. That was very useful.
Do you want me to scroll through that one then? I'll get the Twitter for you. I'll go on that one, then you can go on the video on your phone to check the comments.
Oh no, I was going to switch between the two. Oh, there we go. We're on it. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's you can log out of that. That never became. But Dak gets traded for Tom Brady. Amari Cooper leaves free agency. What if the Cowboys bring back Dez? And we all know Jerry showed us like bringing back the bad guys. If we took a chance on AB, he does have connections and wants to play with Brady. I think that's the worst.
Right, if that happens, you will never see me on the NFL corner again.
Oh my God. I don't think that's not a good idea in my opinion.
No way.
But I don't think the DeAndre Hopkins move was a good move.
No.
So that's the thing. There's nothing really you can't sleep on anything during free agency this year, which is, it makes it an interesting day for us, but it makes it not so interesting for everyone else because other sports don't get this.
A backup running back who makes $13 million a year just got traded for one of the best wide receivers in the league. What a day!
Go on, sorry. Oh no, you can keep it there. Sorry, you can keep it there. We'll keep scrolling our way through the Twitter. We've got Eric Poe. If Cam is Carolina's QB1, Diggs makes perfect sense. A huge rangy receiver with a huge cat box makes perfect sense for Newton, which opens up the 7th overall pick for them to go with Derek Brown or Isaiah Simmons. I don't think Isaiah Simmons...
New Mr. Muscle Bathroom Cleaner. Para sa nanuot naman siya ng inodoro, inaalis ang dumi at patay ang 99.9% of germs. Pati ang namuong lime scale, isang mineral na galing sa tubig na di kayang tanggalin ng bleach. Clean less, live more. S.C. Johnson.
So that one there.
This one, yeah. And then go down.
Yep.
Go down again and then press senior post because it keeps giving you live updates. Wow. Heard a lot about the Bears interested in Nick Foles coming out of the Combine and the Colts too. If Indy doesn't land Rivers, so...
The Colts are looking at Foles. If Rowan's still here...
You might be getting rid of Nick Foles by the looks of it. So there's teams interested.
If Colts don't want Rivers, they are trying to shell Nick Foles away.
Poor Nick Foles. He's been absolutely afraid, hasn't he? He's in every single trade discussion.
To be fair, hearing from a source, Bears trying to get involved with trading for Nick Foles. The Bears are all over this quarterback market.
See, if I'm a Bears fan, and I've seen they've just passed up on Teddy Bridgewater on a $21 million contract annually, and then they switched their attention to Nick Foles, I'd be very annoyed.
Yeah, see, that one makes no sense to me because Teddy Bridgewater is a stellar enough quarterback.
Yeah.
Who'll give challenges. Nick Foles, for the money, not worth it, but is he he's a Super Bowl winner.
He is, but that you could say is a system QB. Very good for the Eagles, but for anybody else, is a bit suspect, really.
That is unbelievable. That is.
If the Jags can find a way to get rid of that contract, that would be a great off-season for them.
I mean, they're losing.
Is that the Madden trade?
They're losing Calais Campbell.
Calais Campbell, yeah, he's gone.
They're losing Yannick, so that's not good. But if they can get rid of Nick Foles, then I'd say that is a massive, massive W. But we will keep trying to report on some of the new things that are coming up. If anything does get mentioned, we'll try and find out what it is. To be fair, someone has put TF. I'm not gonna. The fuck do you want Diggs for? Take a good look at the draft, fam.
Well, if you're not picking high in the draft, I mean, you could say the wide receiver depth in this draft is very, very deep.
It is.
But are those second rounders better than Diggs as a player? We don't know that. But
it's a good question.
CD Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, I'd take them over Stephon Diggs at this point in his career, and maybe Henry Ruggs. But other than that, what's this? Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper is $42 million over 4 years.
Yeah.
18.5 fully guaranteed at signing, and it pays $23 million in the first 2 years, 32.5 over 3 years. Hooper is only 25 and he's getting a 4-year deal. Is good for him and the Browns. Nice to see. Dependable. I'll tell you what, he's getting paid for doing a very good job.
I like that signing a lot for the Browns. Looking at the contract now, that's not a bad contract, that, because you're getting a good player, $11 million a year. You know, there's some wide receivers that earn $20 million. Austin Hooper's a very good receiving tight end and good blocking tight end. I think the Browns have definitely got a very good player there, but I do think that means it's the end of the road for David Njoku, who they drafted in the first round a few years ago. I think he will get traded. Where he gets traded to, I don't know.
But it's a good pickup.
It's definitely a good pickup for the Browns.
That's me, by the way. So
right.
You can ignore that. It's all right. It's nothing on free agency. It's just me blowing up the group chat with free agency news. Welcome still to everyone that has joined us today. Thank you very much for joining as well. I'm trying to see if there is anything else.
Is that Mark Barron getting his contract released?
I'm not sure. I think
Mark Barron, who plays for the Steelers, got his contract terminated earlier today. So he's no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yes, he did. Oh, big name defensive lineman is about to get traded and paid.
According to who?
Chris Trapasser.
Is he
NFL draft writer for CBS Sports?
And what did he say?
A big name defensive lineman is about to get traded and paid.
Oh.
Did someone say Yannick?
Someone say Chris Jones.
I say Yannick.
It's one of the two.
I think it's Yannick. Oh,
Yannick.
So
if it is Yannick, I think it was. Well, the Dolphins just signed the defensive end today.
Eric Poe, hello again. If you've watched drafts before, but somebody, if not multiple, are going to trade up for a quarterback, Jeff Okudah, Isaiah Simmons, Derek Brown, even Chase Young could possibly fall lower than projected. You are right.
He is very right.
You are right that people do trade up for quarterbacks because they are the most prized position. However, not all the teams in that first 5. For example, Redskins might want to keep with Dwayne Haskins.
What he mentioned was teams are always looking to trade up.
Yeah.
So teams that could be like in the mid-20s and need a QB, they might want to trade up and jump into the top 5 and get a quarterback. Because I know a few years ago, I think it was like Laramie Tunsil was the best prospect in the 2016 draft, but loads of teams traded up to get quarterbacks. Laramie Tunsil fell to like 13 or something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just to do with the quarterbacks. It obviously, a video was released of him on draft night doing something, and that reduced his stock a bit. He was in a gas mask smoking weed or something like that. He got released.
Oh, well.
But it just shows you that quarterbacks can push down the draft board just because of how, and they can be definitely overdrafted. I think
they're all top 10 picks with Jeff Okudah, Isaiah Simmons, and Derek Brown.
Yeah.
But again, if maybe some people trade up for Love or Herbert, I don't think they're good enough though. I only think there's 2 standout quarterbacks this draft. I know the other 2 are good.
I think the other 2 need time. I don't think they can start day 1.
Any news about the Jets yet?
Tua and Burrow are definitely the 2 players that can start week 1.
Any news about the Jets? Hello, Anthony Brown. Welcome to the stream.
Anthony Brown, former Cowboys cornerback. Are you re-signing with us?
He says, any news on the Jets? Do you know what? I will put them in.
Very unlike the Jets today. Not very active in free agency.
But they did say that they were going to do some. Giants are pursuing linebacker Jordan Jenkins, according to the New York Post.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, tough loss in free agency for the Jets. They will strongly pursue
Lions guard Graham Glasgow.
Graham Glasgow, because they wanted Joseph Tunney, but he wasn't.
Right.
Julian Lamb over a 3-time 1,000-yard receiver with 30 career touchdowns who has never had a great quarterback.
What's that?
I'm not sure what he's saying. Jerry Jeudy and CD Lamb are over a 3-time 1,000-yard receiver. Oh, right. Okay.
He means they've got
yes.
good stats with not very good QBs thrown to them.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So Jerry Jeudy and Lamb over a 3-time 1,000-yard receiver with 30 career touchdowns who has never had a great quarterback.
I disagree with you there because I think Jerry Jeudy's had a great quarterback in Tua.
No, I think you might be talking about.
Although Tua was injured,
I think he's talking about another wide receiver. A 3-time 1,000-yard wide receiver. So he's saying basically, I think he's saying he'd rather that. He's talking
about Diggs.
He might be talking about Diggs.
Yeah,
he's
he's talking
about Diggs. I'm thinking he might be talking about Diggs.
Well, the only difference is with that is Diggs is a bit older and his contract's already pretty big.
Packers just signed a linebacker. Have we mentioned that?
Yeah, the Christian Kirksey? Christian Kirksey signed today with the Packers for a 2-year, $16 million deal.
Let's have a look.
I think that's the guy they're on about. Oh, it might be Corey Littleton.
Let's have a look. Apparently, Diggs briefly changed his Twitter bio to wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. That would be awful.
Who's done that?
Apparently, Diggs did momentarily, but I don't think that's true. Bears are also exploring trade for Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton.
What is the Bears have been linked to every QB today, aren't they?
Yeah, no, we got you was on about Stefon Diggs now. We got it. It took us a while. We're a bit slow.
Passes that, I think I'll scroll around if you want.
Go on, we're a bit slow. Jordan Jenkins is a Giant now, you said? No. He's not a giant. That's who the Jets want. It's all right. Just leave it. It's all right. The Giants wanted Jordan Jenkins. Hurst went to Arizona. He did go to Hurst.
Hayden Hurst got traded to the Atlanta Falcons as a replacement for Austin Hooper.
Do you know what? Just leave it, pal. It's all right. But because now everyone can see the bloody home screen and what university we go to. No, Stefon Diggs. Yeah, but you can't project that production from a rookie. You're right. You are right.
Who's that?
Basically, Diggs over a new wide receiver.
Well, Diggs is a talent that's proven he can play in the NFL. And with any wide receiver, no matter how high the draft, there's risk that they might not pan out.
Yeah.
And Diggs is still on a decent contract and he's still pretty young. So I think whoever does land Diggs is getting a very good wide receiver. I think it's a bit... I know you don't like him on the Vikings. The person that I think he can be a bit of an idiot sometimes, but he's a talented wide receiver.
I like him on the Vikings.
He might not be there after tonight, I'm afraid, mate.
Yeah, I like him on the Vikings, but for me, it's one of them. As you said, do you want a diva on your team?
Yeah.
But to be fair, is having a diva with production better than having a wide receiver from the draft that you don't know enough about?
Yeah, I mean, possibly, yeah. The thing is, these draft wide receivers, you don't know what they're going to be.
Hurst went to the Falcons. Yeah, because they traded away Austin Hooper. And
Austin Hooper signed with the Browns and they traded for Hurst as a replacement.
And Arizona got
picks.
DeAndre Hopkins.
No. The Ravens traded away Hurst.
Yeah, no, I'm talking... he said Hurst went to Arizona.
Oh, no, Hurst...
No, DeAndre Hopkins went to Arizona.
You're right, yeah. Hurst went to the Falcons.
Yeah, Hurst went to the Falcons.
Arizona. We still can't believe that actually happened.
I think you guys are underrating Stefon Diggs. He's a top 10 receiver in the league, stats-wise, for the... No, trust me, bro.
We're not underrating Stefon Diggs.
We're not underrating Stefon Diggs. It's nothing to do with him as a player. Brilliant route runner. Fantastic. Bro, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I know Stefon Diggs is a very, very good player. My only issue has ever been he likes to tease onto it. That's just a personality. That's just his personality.
He's just like that.
Yeah, that's just the way he is, you know? So
talent-wise, there's no denying he's a very good wide receiver.
Ravens need O-line help. Ravens, who did they get? Well, they got Calais Campbell on defence. That's not O-line, but that's on defence.
I know they've got Ronnie Stanley, who they're looking to lock up, probably their best offensive lineman, and they had Orlando Brown, who was a very, very good draft pick. I can understand because Marshall Yanda has obviously retired. That's a big loss for them.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
There's an update here. The Buccaneers have made an aggressive pitch for Tom Brady.
The who have?
Buccaneers.
Oh, no. Goodbye, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston could be going.
But no, NFL franchise tag tracker. Franchise tag tracker. We already know pretty much about all the. There's been enough of bloody franchise tags during this.
Yeah, that deadline shut.
Has it?
Yeah, the franchise tag deadline shut about 3 hours ago.
It did.
And players can no longer be franchise tagged now.
No, players can just move freely between the leagues. True, he's your locker room distraction. Yeah, that's the only thing. The production's not a problem.
No.
The talent's there.
No.
The route running's there. The catching's there.
Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen are arguably the best wide receiver tandem in the league when you look at it on paper.
Apart from the Bucs.
Yeah, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but over a consistent basis, Thielen and Diggs have been consistently very good wide receivers. I think they work well as a partnership as well.
I'll be honest, Eric, mate. It just depends what we get for him.
What are you wanting for him? What are you expecting for him? Like,
I'd say second round.
Yeah, it's more likely going to be a second round. But I don't think you're going to get a first. For
no, not if DeAndre Hopkins isn't a first rounder, then Jesus Christ.
But don't forget, the Texans also did get David Johnson. So they didn't just get a second round pick; they got a new starting running back, who a couple of years ago, before he got injured, was very good.
Will on Twitter. It's not
me.
He made a good point. In the last 7 months, the Texans have traded away Jadeveon Clowney and DeAndre Hopkins and didn't receive a single first rounder.
It's tough. And they don't have any picks in the draft, and they've lost them 2 players.
They do have... Did they get a 4th round? Or?
They got a 4th rounder and a second rounder, but they don't have a first round pick.
No.
For the next couple of years.
I'm going to let you take over this because we've got 50 minutes left and I just need to go get the drink. So I'm going to let you take back over. I'm just going to go get a drink. Yeah.
Give me water.
I don't have any cash. Have you got cash?
No, I don't. I haven't changed.
Would I rather have Diggs or Thielen, mate? Diggs.
Really?
Diggs, yeah. Younger.
Possibly, yeah.
Just going to go get some drinks.
All right.
If you want a water, I'll try to get you one.
Alright, pal, cheers. Yeah, so the rumours really are hotting up now about Stephon Diggs being traded from the Minnesota Vikings, obviously putting on his Twitter that he might be looking for a new team, so we'll have to see how that goes. As of right now, I mentioned earlier that the Buccaneers have made an aggressive pitch for Tom Brady. So once again, we'll have to see how that goes. Tom Brady linked with the Patriots, the Bucs. The Raiders might be out on him now. And also the other team, which is the Chargers. Obviously the Chargers, I forgot their name then, but apparently they've got news here that Rams running back Todd Gurley may be on the move. And that's per Mike Silver. I think it was NFL Network, Mike Silver. He works for Sports Illustrated, and he's saying that Rams running back Todd Gurley could be on the move, which would shake up the NFC a lot because Jared Goff does he does rely on Todd Gurley's ability a lot, especially on the play action. It makes Jared Goff's life a lot easier. So Todd Gurley could be on the move, but he does have an underlying knee injury apparently, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, NFL free agency, we're now 3 hours in. We've got breaking news. Big breaking news. And it is Jadeveon Clowney has agreed to a 4-year, $87.2 million contract with the New York Giants per source. Now, I actually predicted this earlier. I was talking to Kieran about it. I did think he was going to end up at the New York Giants. He was very interested in signing for the Giants. And the Giants have got their man on a big contract, by the way. 4 years, $87 million. Which is, how much is that? It's just under $22 million per year, which is mental. But yeah, the Giants get Jadeveon Clowney on a 4-year, $87.2 million contract. I'd like to see how much that is guaranteed. But that is per Adam Schefter. In fact, I think I may have just been hoaxed. I think that rumour is fake, guys. I don't know. I think it's fake. I don't think that Jadeveon Clowney's actually gone to the Giants. I think someone just lied about that. But they had a tick next to their name, which is a bit dodgy, and they said it's signed, but obviously not. So sorry about that, but that is fake news. Jadeveon Clowney apparently is not going to the Giants now, but is he going to the Giants? Joshua Peterson, is Jadeveon Clowney going to the Giants? I've read something on Twitter, but I think it's fake. I don't think it's real. I don't think that's real. Let me just type him in. No, nothing on Twitter about Jadeveon Clowney signing for the Giants. I think that's fake news that someone just reported. Someone's obviously made a fake account or something like that. But yeah, there is news though on from Adam Schefter here that teams have approached Jacksonville about Nick Foles for weeks. Jacksonville has been unwilling to trade him, so they must not want Gardner Minshew as their starting QB. If they're unwilling to trade Nick Foles, it still feels that way, but never know what happens in another team gets aggressive. So basically, what Adam Schefter's saying here is Jacksonville are not. Apparently, they haven't been willing to trade away Nick Foles, which is a bit of a surprise because Gardner Minshew is their starting QB by the looks of things, and he's still on a pretty big contract, is Nick Foles. So for him to be a backup on that contract would be pretty surprising. But apparently the Jags are not willing to trade him away. So yeah, that's a bit of a shocker. That, as I mentioned earlier, that Todd Gurley's name is coming up in trade talks. And that's now confirmed by NFLTradeRumors.co. So I'm seeing that rumour a lot more now about Todd Gurley could possibly be leaving the Rams and getting traded away, which is it's pretty crazy if that would happen, because a few years ago many people would said he is the best running back in the league. Joshua Peterson, you've got any more information on that Clowney to Giants? I saw it on Twitter. I don't think he's real. I don't think he's real. Marcus Gilbert put something out on Twitter saying congratulations to a great career to his teammate Ramon Foster, who was just retired, if you missed it earlier, offensive guard from the Steelers. Ramon Foster has announced his retirement, and he's put, when the time comes, you just know, now is the time for me to take a bow. So Ramon Foster will no longer be a Pittsburgh Steeler, and the Steelers might look to, I don't know, for offensive guard, because I know Ramon Foster was a big part of their offense and a big part of their offensive line. Kyler Murray's put on his Twitter, let's get right, DeAndre Hopkins, so he's pretty pumped that DeAndre Hopkins is now his number one receiver. And we'll have to see how that happens in the draft now, because I had them taking CeeDee Lamb. If you missed the video on the Sports Corner, we did a mock draft, and I had CeeDee Lamb going to the Cardinals 8th overall. But if they've just acquired DeAndre Hopkins, is wide receiver a big need for them? We'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe they take an offensive lineman instead. Joshua Peterson, Pace just welcomed someone. Pace just welcomed someone. Who's you on about, Pace? Oh, yeah. We do have some more breaking news from Adam Schefter here 1 minute ago. Jason Pierre-Paul is going back to Tampa Bay on a 2-year, $27 million deal, so good for him. He's back with the Bucs, so they've obviously tagged Shaquille Griffin earlier in the day. Jameis Winston looks like he could be moving on, and JPP, the pass rusher, formerly of the New York Giants, got traded to the Bucs. He's now re-signing with the Bucs on a 2-year, $27 million deal per source, so the Bucs keeping that defensive line intact. And we'll have to see now, because I know they've been interested in Tom Brady a lot. They've been making apparently a big push for him to become their new starting quarterback, and that kind of does leave Jameis Winston in limbo, because I don't see a lot of places around the NFL where Jameis Winston could be a bona fide starter. So we'll have to see where he ends up. Any more breaking news? Any more in the comments? Ravens need O-line help. So yeah, if you are in the chat, guys, keep getting your comments in. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. Obviously, we don't just do NFL on this channel. We do football, we do wrestling, we do a lot of other sports. Ryan Pace on Twitter. What about Ryan Pace on Twitter? What do you say, mate? Some breaking news, by the way, that Pierre-Paul's joined the Bucs.
Is that what the big news was?
On a 2-year deal. I read in a report that Jadeveon Clowney got the Giants on a 4-year deal, but it was a fake report. So 10 more minutes left on the stream.
Yeah. I don't mind finishing it there, to be honest.
Do you want me to finish it here then?
No, we'll finish it in 10 minutes. I like leaving on the hour. I like leaving on the...
Half hour.
Yeah, leave on the half hour.
So yeah, we'll be finishing in 10 minutes, guys, so get your last few comments in.
Water?
Subscribe. Oh, cheers.
It's alright.
Yeah, get your comments in. We will be leaving in 10 minutes, but free agency will not be closing when we leave. There's still deals to be happening.
Do you think that was the big deal that went through?
What do you mean?
The one you just told me.
What, Jason Pierre-Paul?
Yeah, I don't think that was a big deal.
I mean, they've just tagged Shaquille Barrett, like I mentioned, and they've just signed into a 2-year deal. So Jason Pierre-Paul is getting a bit older now, but he's another pass rusher for the Bucs, and it's another player for Brady to look at and think, well, they're keeping their pass rush intact, they're keeping their defense intact. Maybe I'm more interested in going there.
Yeah, I think that's... Do you think people are out here trying to prove to Brady what the...
Well, they're trying to pitch the best team to him, aren't they? They're trying to make him...
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I just mentioned this earlier as well. Kyler Murray's pretty pumped to have DeAndre Hopkins. He's put, let's get right. I can't wait to see that partnership develop over time.
What, Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray and Hopkins. That's
a hell of a partnership.
Exciting to watch. And obviously they kept their running back, Kenyon Drake. They put the franchise tag on him today. But I think it was the exclusive rights franchise tag, so a team could offer a deal, and the Cardinals can choose to match that deal or let him walk. So we'll see what happens with Kenyon Drake.
I mean, that one Fox tweeted there about the Cleveland Browns and the talent they listed, to be fair.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Odell, Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper.
He's got it.
He's got to click.
That is
too much talent for it not to work.
That is a top-level offense in every position.
Exactly. I don't know how.
Maybe offensive line's the only problem, but that's about it for me, really.
Yeah, well, they've got the weapons. It just maybe with a new coach in Stefanski, new ideas.
Kevin Stefanski, yeah.
Maybe he gels with him.
Hopefully so.
But Baker Mayfield, there's no doubt in the talent. He was Rookie of the Year.
He was.
So
he was indeed.
Well, maybe let's see if we can get Rookie of the Year.
Speaking of Rookie of the Year, Kyler Murray, he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, if they get DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, is going to be amazing. And they've still got Larry Fitzgerald, obviously Kenyon Drake, and see if they had another wide receiver in the draft.
There is rumours that Todd Gurley could be traded.
Oh, I've mentioned that as well, yeah. Todd Gurley's name's been coming up in trade rumours a lot.
Kansas City, Falcons, Chargers, Dolphins. They're the four that seem to... I mean, out of all them, there's only one winning team, and it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. Joe Thomas's former Browns left tackle has said on NFL Network, he said, don't be surprised if the LA Chargers make two big splashes here during free agency.
I wouldn't be surprised.
One of them could be Tom Brady. We'll have to see how that happens. NFL free agency. Any more news?
We haven't got anything in, sadly, apart from that, obviously, that Todd Gurley one, which I just saw then.
Tom Brady running out of NFL free agency options. 49ers move on. I wouldn't say he's running out of free agency options. I think there's still loads of teams that would want to sign Tom Brady.
Oh, definitely. I'd
it's
say
just what's
so.
the best fit for him. Where does he want to go?
And how long is he going to take?
Yeah, how long is he going to take?
That's the thing. You got to wait. Do you know what? Should we end it here?
I've got some more. With Hopkins on the cards to the 49ers. No,
DeAndre Hopkins? No.
I don't know why someone's put that. With Hopkins... Oh, no, it's put here. With Hopkins moving to the cards...
You've lost it, haven't you?
Gone. But what they were saying is, with Hopkins moving to the cards, would the Texans be interested in Stephon Diggs as a replacement?
It's an option, but I'd like...
But they don't have any picks.
They can't give up draft picks. They can't give up draft picks.
They don't have any picks to trade for.
They don't have any picks. Yeah, exactly. They don't have picks to begin with.
Is it a nice fit? It is, yeah. But how did they get him? That's
the problem.
That's the big problem. Johnny Manziel to the Bears. Well, Joshua, at this point, they're interested in every single quarterback on the market. I wouldn't be surprised if they want Johnny Manziel as well. They've been quiet about every single QB.
Go on, I'll take that seat back to finish it. I'll stop all this stuff. Oh. Should we end it here?
Yeah, can do.
Go on then. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today for this kind of impromptu stream. There wasn't any...
No planning, really. It just kind of appeared, didn't it?
It just kind of happened. It did kind of just appear. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Cheers for a lot of people that have been here for the time, like Eric, Josh, Eagle.
Louis, we
have your friend, yeah, of course.
The Bears fan in there, the Eagles fan. We've had a lot of people in the comments today. Thank you for the comments and thanks for the likes.
Anthony Brown there, and he said any news about. I hope you get some Jets news by the end of tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us completely for the whole thing. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Make sure to
enjoy the rest of NFL free agency.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Thank you.